How's everybody doing? Huh? How's everybody hanging in there? You guys doing all right? Just working on getting some of this lighting set up because it's acting a little funky. So bear with me. Let's see. I guess I'm gonna need to show the camera in order to really figure this out. So, okay, so we got this. We could do red. Red's a bit too angry. Let's go Tokyo. Yeah, Tokyo. I like that one. Oh, Soho is a pretty good one. Let's do Soho. Yeah, I like this one. This one's a neat little arrangement. It's got the right amount of tinge. Super Buddy Boy, welcome to Twitch Prime sub. Thank you so much, my guy. Hopefully the music's not too loud. I do like generally having like a little bit of a vibe going on, kind of underneath to fill in the dead air. Literally bisexual lighting, is it? Hey, look, man, I think I'm straight, you know? Naxane, thank you for the Twitch Prime. It looks... Man, this looks so much... This lighting setup looks so much better in person than on camera, actually. What's Magneto? Ooh, that's like tie-dye blue. That's interesting. Ah, fuck it, why not? Whatever. That's good enough. No! Ah, whatever. Fuck it. Who cares? Lights aren't important.
Again, I would like to thank Lockmort for my sub gift. Absolute goat.
Lockmort is a goat. Noodle Man Boy, thank you for the gifted. Thanks for accepting the gifted sub. You know, man, I've been watching you since like 2015. Crazy how far you've come. All the love. Thank you, man. Thank you for coming in here. I'm actually very, very excited for the next, well, not the next video. The next video is going to be chill and laid back. The one after that's probably also going to be chill and laid back because it's sponsor stuff. But the third video after, or the second video after the next one, I'm super, super fucking excited about. I'm very, very excited about it. It's a massive undertaking because I'm hiring camera people. I'm renting a film space. I need to rent a classic car for a prop. I've got like gallons and gallons of, you know, prop liquid. It's gonna be stupid, but I'm super pumped about it. I miss, I don't know, like I used to, back when I was first starting, I would do a lot of, hello City Without Power. I would do a lot of genre mixing. You know, like I would have like a film noir style video where it was like in black and white and it was like a detective story with like filters over the audio to make it sound old and everything was black and white. And then sometimes I would do like a children's show where I was in front of an obvious green screen and there would be like crayoned backgrounds, and or sometimes I would just be in like a white void, or sometimes I would do a western, you know? But like after a while doing that, you kind of run out of ideas where it's just like, ah, man, I don't know what else is left. I feel like I've done everything aside from like sci-fi, but even that I did with the fucking Alien, the Area 51 one. And then recently, it kind of jumped out to me like, oh, I haven't done that yet at all. And I'm super hyped about it. I don't want to give away too much about what it is. What video was noir? I did a film noir style video. Actually, it's been so long at this point that I could probably do those again. Or like do that style again in a different context and it would probably still feel new. But The film noir video was a long time ago. It was a video about Trump. Actually, let me see if I can. It was a very long ago. Let me see if I can pull it up and we can watch it together. At least like the beginning part. God, the screen is so fucking insane. Where is it? There it is. So this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about.
I want to think I was the one who leveled up the hype train. Just came home from watching Doctor Strange. Loved it. It was so trippy.
Yeah, dude, Doctor Strange was awesome. That was like the first Marvel movie I really liked in a long time. King of Chickens, thank you for the Twitch Prime sub. But this is the film noir one I did.
It was a pretty run-of-the-mill day in North Hollywood. Smog in the air circling over my dilapidated apartment complex like vultures bearing down on fresh roadkill. Then again...
Dude, I had so much fun doing this shit, and I would do it all the time. Anissa's actually in this. That's so fucking funny. But yeah, like, I used to do this kind of stuff all the time, and then, like, after a while, you just sort of, like, you have to put so many videos out, and then there's only so many ways to fuck around with genre, and then I thought, like, wow. It's such an obvious thing that I never did. It is quiet, yeah. I mean, it's not that important. You get it. It's like smooth jazz kind of in the background. Like a detective. I think I could do this a lot better now. So I wouldn't be opposed to doing that again. Oh, nostalgia. Shield $5. My Halo 2 Collector's Edition came in today. Do you want my 2-month Xbox Live code? No. In fact, I have a Legendary Edition Halo 2 and a Legendary Edition Halo 3 that I have not opened. I would love, though, a card, like a Microsoft Points card. Like, that would be sick. Silent film style. Silent film, I think I tried that in a video that I never posted, but it didn't, silent films is weird because you have to, like, really either commit to the bit entirely, which makes for overall a boring video, or you have to do it really, really well for just a little bit, and I couldn't figure out the balance. You know? Yeah, I can't remember. I needed to keep on my toes like a midget at a urinal. I can't remember what's the line I used. What did I say? Hold on, wait. There was something like that in this. I remember being like weirdly proud of this one.
I don't know if it was the rapid-fire gin and tonics the night before or the years of reading nonsensical headlines catching up to me, but what I did know was that I'd been looking for a good story to talk about for far too long already. Like a poorly practiced surgeon, I was running low on patience. And like one of those patients, I was running out of time.
I was weirdly proud of that line. Chris with an actual ray gun. Heyo! Where is it? Ray gun. Always beside me. Would be cool. What is that? Would be cool to see a horror movie with smooth jazz in the background. Yeah, maybe. Yo, it's Morbius. Hey, what's up? I should probably lower my mic is peaking. My mic's peaking like a duck. Yo, that's sick. Where'd you get it? This was actually a custom made. I don't remember where I got this. I got this years ago, like 2018, 2017 even maybe. But I got this. This was like a custom 3D print. Like it folds. And you can see like the wires on the inside. But this was like a custom built thing that I got on like Etsy or something. Maybe on like a different on Windows 11 yet, Chris? No, apparently my computer can't run Windows 11, which doesn't make sense to me because I have like a really souped up rig, but it says like you can't do it. It doesn't run. It's like, all right, well, I've heard Windows 11's like really good. Well, for the stuff that I need, but like I don't know what I don't know what the deal is. Like the doctor of the Kenyan track team, his patience ran thin. Audio's a bit out of sync. Is it? Like the doctor of the Kenyan track team, his patience ran thin. It's not that out of sync. I'm not that worried about it. Who would win? Windows 11 is good. Occasional glitches, but it's nice. Yeah. You need the TPM 2.0 chip on your mob. Oh, really? That's what you need? That's so stupid. Who would win? I just got a text message from my psycho friends. What is this? Oh my god.
Chris, if you had a My Pillow pet as a kid, you end up supporting My Pillow guys.
I don't even know what the fuck. They're high or something. They send me. I get video. I'm in a group chat with like two of my very like hyper specific Hispanic friends, and they send me just videos of them high off their mind watching like 80s music videos, and it's. They ask you to abort somebody. I don't know. They were talking about like pillow pets or something. I don't know. It's difficult to hide this early in the morning. That's what I'm saying. Christening my new PC with the Raygun stream. Hey, congrats on the new PC. I'm actually going to jump into my Discord now because I think some people in there were down to jump in. I've known people who would do LSD to go to a Gwar concert. Oh, shit. Those are the ones that go in costume, right? I've actually never seen or listened to Gwar, really, but I know one of the guitarists went to Rise Against afterwards. That's the only reason I know. That's the only reason I know Gwar. So I don't know what I want to do today. I kind of want to play some video games. I don't want to play Prey because that requires a bit too much focus. And when I play Prey, I'm just like really silent, and it's not that interesting to watch. My cat caught a bird, It straight up died like an anime character. What do you mean? What do you mean? How can a bird? What do you mean? Like it shouted and vowed revenge? Yeah. And they shoot fake blood everywhere and do weird shit. Why are your eyes so dark, though? Are they dark? I do have black, basically. Like my eyes are so dark brown that they're essentially just black voids. Let's watch Morbius. Let's do it, guys. Let's watch all of Morbius. I saw all of Morbius on a fucking Twitter thread. The whole movie's on Twitter. Like, you could just watch it in, like, 2-minute chunks. I'm morbed up. It's Morbin time. You know what? I'm a little bit scared. I think they greenlit a sequel to Morbius already. Like, there is officially, like, a Morbius 2, I believe, in the works. Or at least it's been greenlit. I don't know if Jared Leto will come back.
What's your opinion on the new Destiny season?
It's a little weak, in my opinion. Like, I think the aesthetics of it are cool. I think, like, the metal, like, the scythe, and that stuff is neat. The new PvP map is cool, but I don't know. Like, it's not sucking me in quite as much as previous seasons have. You know, I don't feel as compelled to play as much as I did in previous. Oh, the new dungeon just dropped? Oh, I'm going to have to check that out. I haven't actually been doing that. Maybe we'll play some Destiny. I don't know. They're definitely saying it's Morbin time in the sequel. Oh, no, they're going to lean in on the... It's going to be like... Have you guys ever seen Gremlins? And how Gremlins is kind of like this semi-serious, like, horror movie. It's like a semi-serious horror comedy type deal. But then, like, Gremlins 2 is just a big joke. Like, it's just a massive fucking joke about how ridiculous the first one was. That's Morbius 2. I wouldn't be surprised if they called it Morbius. Like, genuinely, sincerely. Like, I think that's the future that awaits us. And it's going to be terrible. Because the funny part about Morbius... The funniest thing about Morbius is how bland
My
it is.
Rafflecopter goes SOI SOI
I can't believe you just said that. I can't believe someone just my Rafflecopter goes swa 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 in my fucking chat. Are you someone who's been following me for a very long time? That's the most ancient thing you could have possibly said. Oh my Christ. I can't. I think they should have at least some fun with the second one. Let them do whatever. But I don't know, the fun of Morbius is that it takes itself seriously. So I feel like once it's in on the joke, I don't know, because it's not as funny as, like, Ugly Sonic. Like, Ugly Sonic existing again in that fucking Rescue Rangers thing, that's insane. That's awesome. I haven't seen the Rescue Rangers thing, but I've seen the clips of Ugly Sonic, and it makes me happy. Because that's the Sonic I wanted. I didn't want the new, like, proper, like, good-looking Sonic. Fuck that Sonic, quite frankly. I wanted ugly, decrepit, beer-belly, bags under his eyes Sonic. With, like, weirdly human legs. That's what I wanted. I like how Ugly Sonic is a completely different IP. I would totally watch a show that was Ugly Sonic. If it was Ugly Sonic just coming to grips with the fact that he wasn't Sonic, like, he's too ugly to be Sonic, and that's, like, the whole point. It's like Shallow Hal, except he knows he's ugly and he has to accept it. Instead of being like, I'm beautiful. I saw a clip where one of them took out their ear pods and were listening to the Lamb of God. I've seen clips of it. It looks funny. Like, it looks like it's amusing, but it also, there's a difference between a good movie and a fun movie. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like, generally speaking, these multiverse movies, like Into the Spider-Verse is a good movie. Like, that's one of the few multiverse movies. And I've heard very good things about Everything Everywhere All at Once. But most of these, like, crossover fucking, like, oh, you know, isn't it crazy that Scooby-Doo, isn't it crazy that Shaggy goes Ultra Instinct and can fight Harley Quinn and Batman and Tom and Jerry in this video game? It's like a little bit. Like, it's amusing for sure, and I get a kick out of it. But that game's probably not that good. You know? End the stream and go see Everything Everywhere All at Once right now. I plan on doing it tonight. At some point. Or, like, in the next, like, 2 days. Like, I want to see it soon. Because I've heard nothing but good things about it, and I like that director a lot, so I'm pretty stoked to see it. I just haven't gotten the time. I haven't had the time to really go and see movies. And also because, like, I don't know anybody, like, around me. Like, I don't have any in-person friends where I am right now. You know, like, I don't know, like, all my friends are, like, in LA or in Austin or in Seattle. No, none of my friends are in New York anymore. And the people who are like, so far away that it's like, we're not going to see a movie together. So going to the movie theaters by myself is kind of like, it's not the most ridiculous thing. Because I've always found it a little funny that people go to the movies with other people anyway, because you can't talk during it. So, like, what's really the point? But it also does feel weird to go alone. So I'll probably catch Everything Everywhere All at Once at some point. You know, I'm going to be in Los Angeles in like 2 weeks, so maybe I'll just see it there. I don't know. If it's still in theaters, I don't know. It might not be. Have you seen Nightcrawler? No. Multiverses was just okay for me. I hate when people use random game feel words, but it does feel incredibly clunky. It looks incredibly clunky. Like when I was looking at it, I was like, everything in Multiverses looks very very floaty. Like, I don't know, like it doesn't look like it. Like, I think I got offered like a code for it. What's in LA in 2 weeks? VidCon. Well, VidCon's not in 2 weeks, but I'm going to go in 2 weeks and stay there for a little bit. Are there any more musicals in the works? No. I don't plan on doing musicals anytime soon because song parody is hard and annoying to do. It's not monetizable. And it's just, I don't really want to, I don't know, like, it's not really something I care about that much anymore. Like, it was fun for a little bit, but ultimately, like, people keep asking about it, even though it's been, like, 4 years. Like, I even literally, like, unlisted most of them, you know, because, like, I don't want people coming to my channel looking at, like, the highest viewed shit and see it's all musicals and then just assume that that's what I do. So I unlisted most of them. I kept the Borderlands one, the Cage the Elephant one, because I think personally that's the best one. It's my favorite one. It's the one that I look at and I'm like, I still think is like, yeah, that's still like really well written and I really like it and I think it's funny and it sounds good. But yeah, and the rest of them are still like, you can still watch the rest of them. They're on a playlist on my channel. It's called like Legacy. What does unlisted do? It unlisted basically keeps it from showing up like on my main page, and it keeps you from searching for it. But if you just go to my channel and go to playlists, there's a playlist of all of them. Like you can still watch them and share them. I just don't want people coming to my channel and assuming that that's what I do, because I just haven't done it in years. Like I've had a YouTube channel for a very, very long time. There's an entire 7-year period of my YouTube channel that's entirely private. You know? It's entirely, like, you guys haven't seen it because it's just not important. It has no relevance to the stuff that I do now or even the stuff that I was doing back when the channel started to blow up. So it was just like, all right, well, these have nothing to do with what I'm doing. I don't want to set up the expectation that this is what the channel is going to be. So, you know. Why did you unlist all the covers? For the same reason. You know, because it's just not indicative of... like, if people come to my channel and then they get recommended other videos from my channel and then it's like a fucking Rise Against cover from back before I knew how to fucking sing or play guitar really or do anything, it's not really indicative of what I do. So it's like, it's almost like misleading. Like, I don't want to false advertise. The stuff is still there. Like, again, there's playlists full of it. You just have to seek them out intentionally instead of, like, having the chance of it coming across randomly in, like, a recommended or something. I've seen decade-old Chris comments on G4 videos. Oh, yeah, I'm sure. Chris's old YouTube porn is privated. Yeah. It's really just, like, a way for me to, like, streamline and get the channel a little bit more focused. I was going to say some of the Green Day covers from back in the day in 2015 is how I found you. Oh, I bet. I think there are some
Love
covers
your
that are
content.
still...
Thanks for the genuine work you put into it all.
Aw, thank you, Snake Asylum. I'm very excited for this next big one. The next video is going to be a Q&A. Then the next one after that's going to be Glasses Off. And I'm kind of toying around. Like, I have this Elden Ring drunk video. Like, I played Elden Ring while drunk for like 6 hours, and then I edited that down to like 15 minutes of funny shit. I don't know if I should post it though, because I'm not sure if anybody's gonna want that. I'm toying around with it. It's done. Like, it's a finished video, but I don't know. I do not know. I'm off. Have a good stream. Take care, Naxane. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. You absolutely should. The clip of you dying to the hand thing and screaming still makes me laugh. It is pretty good. You got any advice on the script writing part of making YouTube videos? Guys, no. The best idea, honestly, depending on how you do things, the thing is, like, I don't know, because I have a very specific writing style. You know, like where I'll hyper focus on like what the theme or like what the overall style of the video is going to be. If it's like a film noir, if it's like a general kind of recap, if it's like a Back to the Future homage, like the Zarna Joshi video. I get hung up on that shit a lot, but what I usually do is just like if I'm writing about something, then I'll just write what I think about it, almost like I'm taking notes. Like, this is what I want to say, this is what I feel about it, almost like I'm not going to turn it into a video. And then I read all the shit that I watch, and then I read all the shit that I write, and then I think about like how I can fit it into like a video. Is typically how I do it. So pretty much like if you think about something, if you have thoughts about a particular subject, or you have thoughts about a particular, like anything that you're making the video about, just write that shit first. Focus on the actual information and less on the creative stuff. Because the creative stuff, you can always just interject that shit. You know, you can always just throw that shit in. You could proofread, and then once while you're reading, you'll think of like funny shit to throw in, and like, oh, that'll be funny there, or like, oh, you'll think of like a gag that you didn't think of while you were writing the facts, and stuff like that. So my advice would be just to focus on the point, and then you can focus on making that point entertaining later. It's kind of like writing a script for anything. It's like you have a story, right, where you have like, okay, this is the story that I want to tell in this movie or something, right? And the character, I want the character to learn this lesson. I want him to have this conflict, and I want him to be here by the end of the movie. That's like the outline of the story. And then you kind of like fill that in after you've got the outline pretty much hammered in. And then after that, the rest of it's just editing, you know? I have the video that I'm working on right now, the big one that I'm like super excited about, is about, it's like 18 pages, which is the longest script that I've ever, for context, a typical Raygun recap script is about like, I want to say like 5 maximum, but I can check it now. Google Doc. I save all my scripts. Let's see. What was the most recent? What was the most recent one? God, I have so many unfinished ones too. Where are you? Where are you, motherfucker? Oh, here we go. June 22nd, 2021. Halo Infinite E3 2021 Raygun retrospective. Yeah, so this is a video that exists. It's like 6 pages, and that video ended up being about, I want to say 20 minutes. June 22nd, 2021. Let me look up. Chris Raygun Halo Infinite. 11 months ago. That seems about right. It's 5. You're an ill and
so many other emotions that they're better a cry. Why don't we make people laugh or cheer?
now. Is this just corporate? Oh, this is a great idea, actually. This is actually kind of fun, actually, now I think about it. Hold on. So I want to show you guys, just because I think this is a little neat. I'm gonna have to make sure that the screen is cut off because I don't want you guys having certain links. So let me just do this real quick. I'll resize it in a bit. Okay, there we go. Now, is this it? E3 2021 retrospective. Is this the one? Let me just make sure that this is the right script.
finally saw it. Halo Infinite multiplayer.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Perfect. So, sorry, this is like a little clunky. I don't normally do this. I had long hair, man. It was mid-pandemic. Beggars can't be choosers. But yeah, so this was the script. This is about 6 pages, and it amounts to 26 minutes.
Exists. And today, I'm going to be breaking every bit of it down. What I loved, what I didn't, and just about everything in between. Full disclosure, this is pretty much the only game I give this much of a shit about, so if you're new here, don't come here expecting, the latest Starfield analysis, alright? I'm a Halo boy, and this is a Halo household. E3 2021 has come and gone, which means we have officially seen Halo Infinite for 4 years in a row now. This is by far and away the longest development cycle Halo has ever had, and this is the first time this year in 2021 that we've seen multiplayer in any capacity. They showed more than just multiplayer though, so before we get into the main meat of the discussion, let's talk about some of the stuff that's not multiplayer that they also showed. They started the presentation by having Joseph Staten introduce the game, which probably didn't mean much to most people, but I actually think is a pretty ideal way to start. Joe Staten was a pretty pivotal presence at Bungie during the original trilogy's development. The dude's in like every single developer commentary, every single Vidoc from those years has his face all over it. He led Halo 3 ODST. He voiced the grunts throughout the series.
Can you do the grunt voice though, real quick?
Do the grunt voice for you? Sure, I'd love to do the grunt voice if you did.
He's a familiar face and certainly somebody that I was, happy to see.
I don't want to play a game that makes me cry necessarily. I want to make a game that makes me go, yeah, did you see what I just did to that guy when he came around the rock? Oh my god.
Usually, like this, I always had this planned, but this is usually I'll usually write something like I'll usually write something here like clip Joe talking about, I don't know, this specific thing, and then I'll highlight that in bold. I didn't do that for this one because I was just, I don't know, I just got lazy or something.
God, it was so
But just so you have an idea, like, so this is like 6 pages. This is a 6-page script. It's 26 pages, or 26 minutes. And that's typically how it ends up. The script that I'm working on right now is 18 pages. So, I mean, the math is pretty... And there's a lot of clips as well. So, it's going to be a fucking long video. I don't know how my computer's going to render this fucking thing. But I'm anticipating about an hour for the video. Which is kind of stressful to think about, but I think it'll be good. I think I'm excited about it. I'm quite pumped. Are you pulling a Hassan on your own video? No, I'm just like I mean, yeah, I guess. What's the video about? I'm not going to spoil it because I think it'll be more fun if I don't. There's 3 videos that I'm working on right now though. There's a Q&A because I haven't done that in a very, very long time. There's an Elden Ring drunk video, and then I think I want to do a glasses off about the heavy shit that's happened recently. That's probably going to be the first one that's going to come out in the next couple days, just because it makes me fucking upset. But I have a bunch of other videos that I want to do. Like I have a Horizon video that I've been working on, like Horizon and Elden Ring and just like the decline of open world design. I have a retrospective on Halo Infinite as well that I want to do. But I'm most excited about this particular video, and I just kind of want to focus on that and get that one underway. Because it reminds me of like making like short films. And I'm just excited. It's about Morbius. Yeah, it's about Morbius, guys. It's my Morbin time video. It's going to be the video where I officially come out as Morbius at the end of the next big video. That's spoiler alert, keep that music a little chill. Let's chill out a little bit. There we go. So what should we do? It is Morbin time, 14 FB. It is. Are you gonna morb all over? Hey man, I'll do whatever Morbius needs. I am the the Grand Dragon of the Church of Morbius, second in command. All that you have to say about Morbius goes to me and through me to him, and all that Morbius can say to you goes to me, through me, from him. There's no decline of open world design. It only gets brought up with Horizon because it gets released to game of the generation type games. People are usually fine with super generic open world design. Just look at Ghost of Tsushima and Halo Infinite. The issue is, I disagree. I disagree with that. And I have a very long script about why that I won't get into now. But there's a big problem with over-explaining in open world games and kind of wanting the budget of the game to kind of be immediately apparent to the player the second they started. Like, the game wants you to know that it's expensive, it took a long time to make, look at all of this amazing content. So the game just spams you with all of it instead of just having the confidence in its own immersion and the confidence in its own world design to guide you through it. And that's the truth. People are usually fine with many... I mean, people can be fine with it. I mean, people are fine with, you know, kids being shot up in schools as well. There's a bunch of people who are fine with all sorts of shit. Doesn't mean it's good, and it doesn't mean it's not worth talking about, you know. Realistically, there's nothing objectively bad about modern open world game design anyway, because games are entirely luxury items. Like, they're not necessary. So, like, a bad game being bad doesn't actually matter at all. Like, oh, big deal, a game is bad. It's not gonna kill you. Of course, it's not that important. But in the context of the discussion, it is important, because that's what we're talking about, you know? Obviously, people are fine with bad games being made, or games being made in lazy ways. And that's probably fine for a lot of people. It's not gonna kill people, it's not gonna ruin the world or anything. But Halo, Ghost of Tsushima, and Horizon are all good games. No, but there's... I understand. You're missing the point. There is nothing wrong with games that are good. But when good games could be great if they just changed, like, really simple things, that's a little frustrating. Because, like, I look back at a lot of open world games now, after Elden Ring, in a far more negative light. Because, oh, they're just doing things... I feel like open world games picked the worst possible jumping off point for their inspiration and evolution. Every open world game that has come out in the last 10 years is based off of Assassin's Creed, is based off of Far Cry. When, like, Far Cry used to be its own unique spin on open world, and, like, Assassin's Creed used to be its own unique spin on open world used to be like Elden Ring, actually. Open world used to be very, very, you know, discovery driven, very much like, oh, yeah, there's stuff out there, go find it. Stuff like Shadow of the Colossus, which had no waypoints at all, almost no HUD. Even stuff like the original Zelda, like, people would tell you where to go, and you'd kind of work out where that was by yourself. There wasn't like a big thing in the middle of the map that you would, like, see obviously, and it's like, oh, that's where I gotta go. You'd have to, like, really explore and get lost in the world. And Far Cry 3 was cool, you know? It was neat to play, like, Assassin's Creed and Far Cry 3 at the time when it was different, when it was, like, a new thing to play, and it was like, oh, cool. I loved Far Cry 3, man. Sup, bro, heading out to indulge in alcohol while I learn Pro Tools. I've been enjoying your content since your Master Chief Collection video. Wow, ages ago. Love your videos and enjoy yourself. Thank you so much, City Without Power. Thank you for the $10. Holy fuck. Much appreciated. That's our boy right there. So, I don't know. I guess my complaint with a lot of open world game design would just be like, I wish we evolved from Shadow of the Colossus and classic Zelda instead of evolving from Far Cry. Because there's nothing wrong with Far Cry necessarily, but when everybody else is doing Far Cry, I don't know, man. I don't think Horizon's bad, by the way. I just don't think it holds a candle. I feel like Horizon would be a better linear game, quite honestly. Like, I think I would like Horizon a lot more if it was just paced like a linear game and you didn't have to explore. And there wasn't all this bullshit. Because it just feels so secondary to the experience. Like, it's not a particularly good open world. Like, it's fine. It looks nice. But it's not fun to move around in, really. It's not... There's not all that many secrets that aren't, like, scripted or, like, major plot points. Like, there's no real secrets that you could miss. You know, there's nothing in Horizon that goes, like, that you're like, wow, it's crazy that this is here, and I could have missed it entirely. You know? Where was this criticism when Halo and Ghost of Tsushima came out? Halo is barely an open world. I think Halo Infinite's campaign is super good. Well, not super good. It's pretty good. But I think the main reason why it's enjoyable is because the scope is very limited. It isn't this fucking... Like, Halo Infinite might as well be a linear game, really. Like, there's an obvious golden path. There are no side quests. It's very simple and straightforward. It doesn't feel like Horizon that has, like, 4,000 things on the map where it's constantly, like, telling you about shit, you know? Like, and like, oh, you gotta go here, there's something over there. You know? Halo Infinite has a better idea of how to get off of the player and let them do whatever the fuck they want. Specifically because it's not super huge. Halo is Far Cry Light with one of the most generic open worlds I've experienced in the last few years. But it's not an open world. That's kind of the thing. It's just a big level. That's what I mean. Like, Halo Infinite's barely an open world. Like, I don't feel like Halo Infinite is open world, really. Like, it is in design, but it doesn't feel as bloated as fucking Horizon does. It doesn't feel as bloated as Far Cry. It doesn't feel as insanely convoluted as, you know... Disagree. Halo Infinite open world is completely useless and would better... Yeah, I agree. I would rather Halo Infinite be a linear game with levels and set pieces. That was my entire point. Because I feel like open world in general is really boring. It's very stale. But Halo Infinite wins in a very specific way because that grappling hook is so fucking fun to use, and it's a fun world to move around in. It's not particularly diverse, and there's not like a lot to do in it. But moving through Halo Infinite is a ton of fun. Whereas like moving through Horizon feels like a fucking chore because you're constantly looting shit. You're constantly bending over to pick shit up. Your character is constantly screaming in your ear, pointing out obvious solutions to obvious problems that really don't need to be pointed out to you. It's insulting, that fucking game. Whereas like Halo Infinite is just like, hey, it's a big level and just shoot enemies. You don't have to fucking loot fucking all this shit. The game doesn't slow down and grind to a halt every time a story beat happens, you know? It's just better paced because it's not bloated. And Ghost of Tsushima is really good, right? It's a good game, but it's not compared to fucking Elden Ring. Not at all. The reason Ghost of Tsushima was so good in the first place was because it made steps to improving the open world formula in the sense that, like, it didn't focus on these massive map markers. You know, the map wasn't overwhelming you. It had this fog of war that let you kind of come across things naturally. The way that the game bent you in the direction of interesting side activities was diegetic to the world and like, canonical to the world. It's like, oh, instead of your character randomly being like, I feel like there's something over there, No, what the game would do would be like, hey, here's a bird following you. And it's like, oh, your eye is naturally drawn to the bird. And then when it's going somewhere else, you kind of want to follow it. And then when you follow it and it lands at like a hot spring, it's like, wow, that's fucking really impressive. That's really fucking good. Or like the way the wind guides you instead of like an arrow pointing you in any given direction. You know? There are just ways to de-gamify open worlds. Because that was what's strong. That is what was strong about open worlds as a genre in the beginning, was the fact that you would play Shadow of the Colossus and you would get lost in this world that felt very fucking real. It didn't feel like you were just sitting in a fucking holodeck, you know, on the Star Trek Enterprise and just being like, I gotta go fucking over there. There's no like arrows on the ground pointing you in the direction of where to go, you know. Ghost of Tsushima has literally all the same problems Horizon has. No, it does not. You're just objectively wrong. That's just mathematically incorrect. It's still the same Ubisoft open world game design under it. Well, yeah, obviously. But dude, do you not? Are you for real? Are you insane? That's what I'm talking about. Under all of the good shit, it's a fucking terrible design because it's based on Ubisoft shit. What makes that game good and really enjoyable is the fact that it does its fair share. It does its fair share of work to disguise that. It doesn't pull you out of the world to tell you where to go. Horizon does, constantly. Horizon is the least believable open world I think I've ever fucking seen in anything. For real. Like, the second you highlight the world around you, like, all the mountains have these, like, fucking golden lines on them to let you know how you can climb. The fuck? That's even worse than, like, the white paint on the ledges. That's worse. And it's ugly. And the character doesn't shut the fuck up. Jin Sakai at least didn't constantly talk the entire fucking time. He only talked in cutscenes and like when interacting with specific characters. Aloy doesn't shut the fuck up. Every moment that you're playing Horizon is a nightmare because Aloy does not shut the it feels like you're playing Borderlands. Like, it sincerely feels like you're playing a Borderlands game where the main character is like, ooh, look at me, I'm a fucking video game character. Isn't that crazy? Bet you didn't know about that. It feels that annoying. Actually, it feels worse because at least Borderlands is trying to be funny or like trying to kind of annoy you. The yellow lines are literally some Uncharted 1 through 4 world design. No, it's worse because in Uncharted, at the very least, it doesn't like highlight the environment arbitrarily. You know? I hate that, like, fucking Sixth Sense mode that is in so many open world games. The whole, like, press R3 to fucking... Press R3 to fucking highlight the world around you. I hate that shit. Ghost of Tsushima has wind to guide you instead of a waypoint. What a huge that is a huge difference, dude. That is a massive difference because it doesn't pull you out of the world. I don't think you know anything about design, really, at all. No offense, but like I just don't think you're educated on this subject at all. Everything matters, especially when you're talking about the aesthetic style of your game. Having wind in your game is a way different player experience than having a disembodied voice go, I need to go over there. There's an important thing over there that I need to see. And a fucking holographic arrow shows up on the fucking ground and points you in the direction of where you're going in ancient fucking feudal Japan. It's basic, it's really standard stuff. Like, if you don't understand that, like, I don't know if I can help you, really, you know? We're both gamers with an opinion? Well, I just think your opinion is just, like, really unedgy. Dude, I don't know what to tell you. This is my opinion. My opinion is that is an uneducated opinion. I mean, to deny the fact that aesthetics and presentation have a drastic feel on how your game feels to play, that's just, I don't know, I don't even know how to argue in favor of that because it's so blatantly obvious. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what to say to that. I understand it. It's fine. I just don't think it does anything special. Wait, I don't understand. The few hours into the game, when you get the wind machine down, basically feels the same as a waypoint. It is the same as a waypoint, but it's not. It doesn't look the same way as a waypoint. And because it doesn't look the same way as a waypoint, traditionally in a lot of games, it doesn't pull you out of the world as much as a lot of other games do. It's really that simple. Like, it's not. It's like a well-cited reason as to why the game was rated so highly. Yeah, it would be like if you were like Halo 3. Halo 3 would be just as good if it had no graphics, because gameplay is all that matters, you know? Gameplay is king, right? I would agree. Gameplay is really the main fundamental thing that matters. But like, there's no doubt. There's no fucking doubt that if Halo 3 was just the same exact game, but with no textures and everything was just gray block and there was no music and there was no, like, art design present at all, no one would give a fuck about Halo 3, because how a game looks and how a game presents itself to you matters greatly. And that's why Ghost of Tsushima is a better example of open world Ubisoft game design. It's still not my favorite open world game design because it's based in Ubisoft, but of that caliber of game, of that style, it does it a lot better than a lot of other things because it doesn't have that problem that every other Ubisoft game has. The one where it pulls you out of the fucking world every time you play it, every moment that you're playing it. Yeah, there's like little things, dude. Like little things can destroy a game. Like imagine if you destroyed the scarabs in Halo 3 and they just disappeared instead of exploded. Like imagine if Grand Theft Auto 4 was the same exact game, but like the vehicles had no physics to them. There's very, very little things that add up to the overall quality of a game. And the second one of those things is missing or done poorly, it affects the whole thing as a whole. Video games are a house of cards, and if one of those cards is, like, misplaced, it fucks the entire thing. Kind of like how when Halo Infinite launched and it didn't have Forge or working custom games, that distracted really heavily from the fact that the game is good. Halo Infinite's gameplay is fucking awesome. It's like it's definitely like some of my favorite gameplay in the entire series, arguably like up there with 2 and 3 for me. Like, I like it way more than Reach. I like it way more than 4 and 5. I think it's fucking stellar. But the lack of, like, basic things, like the explosions in Halo Infinite, I think suck. There's like a filter over the game that I think is kind of like there's no level diversity. Like, I mean, you were talking about the campaign. Think about how boring that campaign is. It's just one big ass map with a bunch of grass in it. No snow, no deserts, no big set pieces. All shit that was in previous games. So you're like, wow, this feels like a worse game than previous games, even though the gameplay is some of the strongest, and it's weirdly refreshing to play. I think the swinging in Insomniac Spider-Man games really, really drag that game down, in my opinion. Because I feel like the swinging in Insomniac Spider-Man games are too automated. Like, it just feels like you're not really doing anything. You're kind of like loosely guiding Spider-Man, but it doesn't feel like you can really do anything creative with webbing and physics and tension. In the same way that you could in Spider-Man 2 for the PS2 and Xbox, you know, where you could do slingshots and you could, like, hold onto the webbing for as long as you fucking wanted and, like, loop around certain things and, like, you could swing with both hands at once if you wanted. You could really impart your personality onto Spider-Man in Spider-Man 2. Not to say that Spider-Man PS4 isn't overall a better game, but, like, the swinging, it is one of the weaker elements.
Chris, when are you gonna share a bowl of popcorn with my son?
I don't know if I want to do that, The Real Boxer, but I appreciate the request. That took a lot of courage. So tell you what, next time you are in New York City, hit me up, and I will pop some popcorn, and I will stand in a park, and you can meet me, and I'll eat popcorn. I'll eat popcorn at your son. How about that? I'll mean mug him. Something special there. Actual games with good open world design like Zelda that can guide you to actual interesting stuff in an interesting way. Ghost of Tsushima basically did a simple gimmick that leads you to the same set of boring open world activities, and you were wowed by it. Hold on. Like, it's clear it's some clever design choice. It is a clever design choice. And I was impressed by it because the state of open world games is so shit. You have to understand, when you talk about how good something is, the context is in the space that it exists around. You know? Ghost of Tsushima is really good as a Ubisoft open world game. It is. It's probably the best Ubisoft style open world game that I've played. It's way better than Horizon. It's way better than most modern Assassin's Creed. It's way better than most modern Far Cry's. I think it's definitely up there at the top of it. I think Horizon's probably like second, maybe. But just because it's impressive to me in the state of the industry doesn't mean that Ghost of Tsushima is like groundbreaking, perfect open world game design. And I don't think I've ever said that, by the way. There's nothing wrong with waypoints and a map showing you where to go. Elden Ring does it as well. No, it did you play? Did you play Elden Ring?
Tell me an autograph laced with anthrax?
Maybe one day. Set7331. Did you see Derek's Twitter trash where a manager at Facebook got fired because he made this video essay on why women shouldn't be allowed? I did not see that. Did you play? Elden Ring does not have waypoints. It has a map you can open that shows checkpoints. There's like points on them. There are literally, what? They're literally what? They're literally line on map showing where critical path is. There is no line on the map showing you where the critical path is. Are you talking about like the vague arrows on the fucking points of grace? Is that really what you're talking about? So you're talking about the second when you open the UI and are literally pulled out of the world because that's how maps work. There are no arrows on the ground telling you where to go in fucking Elden Ring, bro. That is crazy. The map is on Reddit and Wiki, yeah. Where did I say that? Bro, that's what I'm talking about when I say waypoints. I'm not talking about like, oh, you open up a map and press and put a thing down, and then you can check your map to see if you're going to that place. That's different than in most open world games, wherein a literal fucking arrow or like some holographic bullshit will pop out in front of the player as they're moving. When you open them, that's not what I'm talking about. The most frustrating thing is like speaking to people when they're operating on different, like, in different realities and planes of existence. Rayman, God bless you, but I don't know how to help. I don't know how to do it. There is a line from the Side of Grace that shows you where you should go, but it's not where you have to go. Yeah. Also, it doesn't last very long. And also, the map is so full of points of grace that point in various different directions that, like, it's borderline useless. Like, it doesn't mean anything. Let's get back to playing Silent Hill 2. I've actually never played Silent Hill 2. What is this? Is this like Destiny's Child? What the fuck is this? Pie in the Sky? This is kind of a vibe, I think. What's with this arrow racism? I just hate.
I'm going to Quiznos. Y'all want anything?
Yo!
I can stop somewhere else along the way too, no big deal.
Yo, pick me up a chicken carbonara sub. I loved it. Dude, I used to go to Quiznos all the time. And, like, that chicken carbonara sub is genuinely, like, heaven, man. Like, I know that Quiznos is, like, shitty Subway. Although, like, I personally think Subway's way worse. But that chicken carbonara sub from Subway's fucking bomb, dude. Yeah, I don't know. I like the sense of discovery that Elden Ring has that a lot of other games don't really have. Because other games will dot your map full of important shit before you find it. You can press like a button to be like, highlight the important things in my environment, and you don't even really have to use your eyes or look or pay attention or anything. And it's like the game might as well play itself. Especially in the case of Horizon, where it's just like, that is an easy mode video game that I just had no interest in fucking finishing at all. Like, it was just like, I felt so patronized by that game that I couldn't, in good faith, finish it. I'm sure the story's fine, and, like, you know, the performances are good, but, like, fuck. The second it's like, I think I can make that jump if I could get a running start. I've been playing this for fucking 10 hours. I know I can make this jump if I have a running start. Obviously. The fuck? Thoughts with the good guys with guns argument? I think recent events show that the argument is bull, to be honest. Well, I don't know. I'm conflicted on the gun shit. I'm pretty conflicted about the gun conversation, to be honest. Because I think in a perfect world, I think if I could, like, snap my fingers and Thanos every weapon out of existence, I probably would, because I think we'd be better off as a society. Not even just America, but just, like, as a planet, if that were to happen. But I don't think that's practical or possible. I don't...
Did you know that Osama bin Laden had a DS with Pokemon Diamond version? The first Half-Life game, Chicken Little, Ice Age, and documentaries about himself.
That's not fucking real. That's not fucking real. Fuck you. Thank you for the Twitch Prime sub, but fuck you for lying. I don't know. If we want to get serious here for a second, my opinion is that practically, speaking from a pragmatic point of view, I don't think it's possible to actually get rid of guns in any meaningful way that would have any kind of real impact. You know?
Oh, hey.
Oh, hey.
What's going on? What's going on?
Oh, nothing much. Just streaming.
Oh.
Just doing some stream. I was thinking of, like, I don't know what I want to play a video game, but I don't know what I want to play.
Well, you've got, like, everything, don't you?
I've got a decent amount of stuff. But, like, a lot of it's single player. And I don't know if I can, like, focus on streaming and play a single player game, you know? Like, I have Prey. And I've been playing Prey, but, like, Prey is like a game that's like an immersive sim, so I feel like I have to immerse myself in it. And it's like the Destiny 2 dungeon? What's the dungeon? Also, Wiz, can you talk again so I can...
Yeah. I'm talking. Look at me.
Hey, there we go. Just want to adjust your
Yeah.
volume.
Well, I do need to put in my hour of Halo.
Oh yeah, all right, I could jump on.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do it.
Because I'm going to be in Brazil this next week, and not going to have Halo down there.
Oh shit,
Yeah.
just doing it for work.
Brazil. Yeah, it's for work.
Yeah, I hear you.
Wild thing, Brasilia, the capital of Brazil, was built in the shape of an airplane.
Why?
I don't know. I think it was some sort of touristy thing that they thought would be really cool.
That can't be true.
That's true, man. Yeah, it's wild. I booked a hotel in the West Wing.
The West Wing of the White House?
No, of Brasilia.
Oh wait, hold on. That doesn't sound real. Brasilia.
You could Google map it and you'll just see it. The shape of an airplane.
What am I looking for? Brasilia?
Brasilia. Oh, hold on. It's spelled with a S. Because Portuguese. Whatever.
Wait, what's shaped like an airplane?
The city.
Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah. The city is in the shape of an airplane.
Oh, it's literally called North Wing.
Yeah.
Why'd they do that?
I don't know. I think it was a big, like, we want people to come here type of thing, you know? I don't know why that would make people go there, but
That's super fucking weird, man.
they built this city. They were super proud of it, but, like, nobody likes it. Nobody wants to go there.
I just sent you an invite.
Word.
I don't know if you're on yet, but okay.
Yeah.
Let's do some Ola Infinite.
Hola.
Do you want to do this entrenched stuff?
Yeah, I haven't played it yet, so
I actually like it.
Fire.
It's like yeah, it's like let me move my fucking webcam.
have you seen the trailer for the new game Pal World? Which is it's a Pokemon shooter that you can put your Pokemon in sweatshops for.
Oh yeah, I did. We talked about that on Sacred Symbols like a long time ago.
Holy cow, I just saw it today and I am impressed at just the amount of different ideas they threw in there.
Oh yeah, dude. Pal World. We should when's is it coming? Is it out or is it coming? Is it? Oh, it's not out yet. Yeah,
When does it come out?
sometime this year.
Oh.
But yeah, I saw this. At first, I was like, all right, looks whatever. And then it cuts to them in the sweatshop making the rifles, and I couldn't fucking believe it.
It's a wild trailer. At first, I was thinking, oh, this looks like a fun Fortnite/Pokemon game, whatever. I probably won't play it. And then the sweatshop shot came up, and like there was a butching block, and I was like, what is happening?
All right, hold on. Before we start, I want to jump into a custom game to make sure my controller works because it's been doing this weird thing
What weird thing?
where it like registers it as like a mouse. Yeah.
So my touchpad. So I play. Do you know my setup?
No.
So I play on PC, and I play Halo with a PS5 controller. And I have a third-party software that just tricks the computer to think it's a Xbox controller. But the thing is, the touchpad is still enabled, and it treats the touchpad like a mouse pad, like a little touch mouse pad. So I can use it as a mouse.
Right.
And I can use it to aim and shoot if I need to, which I don't need to ever, but
Right.
it's just hilarious they left that in there.
Yeah, it does this thing where it registers my controller as a mouse, and the sensitivity's all fucked up and vibration doesn't work, but like I can still use the controller, like all the buttons are right. It's very weird.
Is it like key map your buttons and then just make the stick a mouse?
Like a super sensitive mouse, yeah. It's very bizarre.
It's wild. I'm just imagining your Spartan all of a sudden coming down with a seizure.
Yeah,
That's
that's
your-
what
that's
it
your-
feels
that's
like.
your-
It's so weird. It's like there's like crazy acceleration.
That is not my character. That's my character. Oh no, wait, that is my character. I forgot that I changed his armor.
Okay. Okay, so it works. Okay, good. So we can jump off. Hey, look,
Hey, what? Where are you?
right here.
There you are. Oh, you look like a little tech guy. I like your goggles. You know what that helmet reminds me of?
What?
Warzone. Killzone? Killzone. The freaking like Nazi helmet they have.
Oh yeah. All right. The interactability is so stupid. You just
love
it's
it.
like balsa wood. But all right.
I believe that that's probably what it would be like if Spartans ran through wood. We're so good at this game.
Yeah, we're very good. Okay. Let's see. Entrenched. Let's go. How's everybody doing in the chat? RIP Killzone? Yeah. I never liked Killzone.
I never did either. I
But-
think I played it once.
I played it for like I think 20 minutes once. And I didn't see much of anything there.
Did you see me early? I was watching your stream when you first put it up in the chat. Did you see my comment about your Joe Rogan studio?
Oh, was that you?
Yeah, it was me.
Oh, I didn't, wait, what's your name on Twitch?
Big Whiskey Prime.
Oh, I didn't read the name, I guess. I just saw that and I was like, yep.
Yeah, that was me. I was like, it was the first time I was actually watching you, so I wanted to say some stupid stuff.
Yeah.
You know, to establish dominance. I don't know.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
That's what you got to do. It's kind of weird that you can't customize yourself while you're loading.
Yeah. I feel like that would be the. I always want to do that.
Yeah.
That's like a one thing I want to be able to do.
You can do it in most things. I feel
Yeah.
like. Guerrilla Games taking a beating this stream. Well, you know, I like Horizon. I think it's good. I just think it's like, it's hard to play now that like, now that so much of open world design is just, I don't know.
Guerrilla
Hey, what's up, Dylan Burns?
Oh, hey. Oh. You shouted when it came to your character on the screen, so I was like, oh, I guess he really likes himself.
I liked Resistance a lot, actually. Like, Resistance I thought was fucking baller. Like, as far as, like, PlayStation,
Resistance was great.
yeah. It's a skewer version of the map. I hate the skewer on this map.
I can't get it to work. Back here.
Oh, damn it! That was a good fucking son of a bitch. I was just about to get in the gun, and then he's, like, splattered me. Horizon's getting a TV show? I should raise the volume. Yeah, everything's getting a TV show nowadays.
Oh, that was such a satisfying kill.
Congrats on being alive, Dylan, man.
Yeah, that's hard to do.
Yeah. Honestly, like, sometimes feels way harder than way harder than it should. All right, let's
Let's channel our boiling rage into action.
Oh, they got me.
Free zone.
Is there a battle rifle on this map? Yes, there is. Ah,
Yeah,
fuck.
I ordered it just for you.
Oh! No! Oh, shit! That was such a waste. That was such a waste.
What are
God
you
damn it.
doing, Chris?
I don't know. I'm like scared. Can you disruptor EMP? Yes, you can.
Yeah, you can.
I didn't know you could do that to the Banshee.
I think you can do it to most vehicles. Oh, I'm not doing well.
Oh, I got out. I got out of there. This is hectic as fuck. I'm not doing well at all.
There's a lot going on. I came out strong and immediately tanked.
That was bad. That was fucking bad. Oh, God. I heard rumors that Destiny 2 is getting a TV show as well. That would be sick. As long as it's not live action. That's the main pitfall of a lot of these fucking television shows. These things don't work in live action, man.
They don't. They need to get some good animation houses like they did with Arcane.
Yeah, take some cues from fucking Arcane. Take some
And Paw
cues.
Patrol.
Take some cues from Castlevania, man.
Oh, absolutely Castlevania. Oh. Love me some Castlevania.
Castlevania was great.
Castlevania was unnecessarily good.
I heard.
Like, I didn't expect it to be that good.
I heard Breaking Bad's getting a TV show.
Pretty good.
Their TV show's almost over, actually.
Yeah, they gotta finish up Saul, don't you?
Yeah,
Better Call
they're
Saul.
on the last couple episodes of that now.
Wow.
Castlevania was good. I really liked it. Like I remember coming across it on Netflix and being like, I was living with my roommate Sweeney at the time, and it was like, oh my god, they have a Castlevania TV show. This is gonna be a disaster. And then we watched it, and we were like, why was that good?
Yeah.
It was so good and so quick. Like it wasn't like a huge time sink. It was like the first season's like 4 episodes, and they're not long.
No.
And we just thought it was gonna be absolute shit.
They got to that stuff real quickly, and they started pushing through story. They didn't drag at all.
Yeah. It just had a lot of good shit going for it. The music was solid. The fucking VO was really good. You know, when the fighting happened, there was like a lot of like style in the animation.
Yeah.
Because it has this. It's not exactly like Spider-Verse. I don't want to compare everything to Spider-Verse if it has staggered frame rates, because I think that's just not accurate. But they did have this style of animating the fights that I thought was really cool, where it was like kind of staggered frame rates for certain shots. I'd recommend.
Well,
I would recommend giving it a shot. Genuinely, if you haven't seen Castlevania, like the first season's so short. Ooh, okay, that was good. Who's your?
Oh, they found me.
Oh, they are making a God of War show, aren't they? Jesus Christ.
Oh boy. That doesn't need to happen. That genuinely doesn't need to happen.
Yeah, none of these do.
Well, I mean, I feel like some could possibly, if done well, will like improve on the lore and
Yeah,
the
yeah.
universe. But God of War, it doesn't. It does not need that.
They're
whatsoever.
already such story-heavy games, you know? Like, what's the point?
2 zones incoming.
What would you want to see from a Destiny TV show? I would just want to see them like lean into like, I think an anthology show like Love, Death, and Robots in the Destiny universe would be sick. Or even just something that follows like characters specifically. Damn.
Yeah, that was not.
We
that was not
we didn't get fucked up as much as we should have, though. In fairness.
True.
But yeah, I don't know. Like I think like just some of the Grimoire cards I think would make amazing like episodes of a Destiny show. Like there's this one fantastic one about like scientists like doing like studying the Vex, and then they find out that they're like in like they're living in like a simulation of the Vex that they're studying. It's like very fucked. It's like eldritch horror, but it's like sci-fi as well. It's like really cool. There's a lot of shit like that you can pull from like the background of Destiny. Like I wouldn't want to see a Destiny show about what the games are about, you know? Like I wouldn't want to see like, oh, I can't wait to see fucking Cade 6 in Destiny. Like I don't want to see that at all. But there's a lot of good lore to pull from. Same thing with Halo, by the way, but they fucked it.
They could have had it.
I saw this article that was like Halo proves that video games are impossible to adapt, and it's like, well, they didn't try to adapt it, so.
Yeah, that was a dumb article.
It wasn't good, but it also wasn't adapted. Like they didn't adapt it at all. They just did like whatever the fuck they wanted. I basically feel that about all video game shows would be way better animated, for sure, like 100%. The only ones that I could see working better non-animated are like things like The Last of Us, you know? Or if they were to like make a show about like The Division or something. Like I don't know if there's much need to make those animated because there's not really that much style that you could get out of it that would be intrinsically inherent to the IP. But like Halo is like a no-brainer animated series.
Well, I mean, so I think any of them could benefit from the added styles of animation.
Yeah.
Like I think Division show done in the style of the what is that one? You've seen the new Sex, Death, and Robots, or however that order goes. Have you seen the new?
I've seen a little bit
season.
of it.
There's one episode about a guy on a pirate ship.
Oh no, I haven't seen that one.
That's such a good episode. But
I'll check it out. I was meaning to watch it, but then I just got distracted.
But the animation in that, I could see that being very useful in like an adaptation of The Division.
I call that a
Yeah.
Something really in that vein. Something gritty.
Incoming.
Yeah.
But you're right. I don't think most games should just be animated TV shows.
I think
especially with how
yeah.
easy it is to get high quality, cheap animation these days.
Oh yeah, for sure. Generally speaking, it's a good rule, but I think for something like The Last of Us, where it's like the whole point is to be a little grounded.
Yeah, no,
I could see that. I could see that, and plus, you could do a lot of cool practical effects in a Last of Us show that wouldn't be completely like unthinkably hard. Like practical effects in like a Halo show are like really like difficult to do because like people just don't like the way Spartans move is impossible to convey. Like you can't do it. Like you need bad CG pretty much, which wouldn't be bad CG if the rest of the show was CG, by the way. Because I remember like a lot of people were clowning on like some of the fight scenes, and I remember being like, this is like the only like part of the show that I liked because it actually felt like the video game.
Right.
Like, yeah, it doesn't look real at all. How good would it be if the rest of the show didn't look real either, so that wasn't distracting?
I can't with some of the decisions they make.
Yeah, the HBO. Last of Us is HBO as well, so it's probably going to be good. It does have the most potential because it's like the least. It feels like the least difficult type of video game to adapt. Just because we already have zombie live-action media.
Yeah.
But that also makes me feel like it's so redundant to even do The Last of Us in the first place, because like the story of The Last of Us isn't particularly amazing. Like it's good, but I think what makes it good is that it's a video game.
Those are some fighting words, Chris.
Are they?
People, I think a lot of people love the story of The Last of Us. I have
I don't think it's bad. I'm not saying it's like bad at all. Like I just think like what it offers to the genre of like zombie fiction isn't really all that much.
I agree.
Its contribution is the fact that like it's like, oh, it's a really good zombie show and it's interactive. You know, like that's kind of what separates The Last of Us from like The Walking Dead, although The Walking Dead's terrible. Like
oh, that show is
yeah, The first season of The Walking Dead's pretty decent, but like I don't know. Like I felt like another there was another game that I had similar feelings about, where like oh my god, like Uncharted is a great example, right? Where like Uncharted is like it's a really good story. It's got like really fun characters, but like that's just Indiana Jones.
Incoming.
Oh yeah.
Like that's just, it's literally like even the writers were like, yeah, we wanted to make Indiana Jones, so we made this. And like it's clear, and like what makes Uncharted special is the fact that it's Indiana Jones that you can play. Like it's Indiana Jones that you have a part in. So when you make a movie out of Uncharted, it's like, well, this is just destined to be worse Indiana Jones. Because we already had this.
Yeah, I can't. I saw the trailer for that Uncharted movie. I threw up a little bit in my mouth.
It was fine. You know, it wasn't bad. Like, it wasn't as bad as it should have been, in fairness. But it wasn't anything to... It really wasn't much of anything to... I forgot. I saw it and I forgot about it, you know. It's fine.
Oh my gosh, what did I just do? I just fell down.
Yeah, that movie is also super successful, so you're going to see more of it. I also just low-key just don't think Tom Holland's good as Nathan Drake at all. Like, that's such a weird... But at the same time, he probably is...
Mark Wahlberg is Sully. So I feel like they're on brand.
Well, it's probably a smart decision, because I do think the main reason why Uncharted made as much money as it did is because Tom Holland was attached to it, and not necessarily because Uncharted is that big of an IP. Like, Uncharted is really important to, like... Uncharted is, like, super important to, like, video games, but... It's not exactly, like... I don't think you could sell $400 million worth of, like, Uncharted opening day movie tickets without Tom Holland attached to it.
Fair point.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought about that.
So they probably made the right call, but still.
I mean, sure, financially.
Yeah. To justify them doing it, they did make the right call, I suppose.
Victory.
Oh, we actually won?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that was touch and go.
In fact, I didn't realize... I didn't understand the game mode until like 2 seconds ago. I didn't realize the zones were disappearing as we captured them.
Yeah, it's like rapid fire control.
I thought we were just playing some weird version of Control. I didn't even think about it.
It's kind of cool. I like it. Makes you move around a lot more.
Yeah, it definitely does. I was not standing still at all because I kept dying.
Last of Us also got a huge actor attached to it, so it's probably got the same grace. Yeah. I don't know if it'll have much to offer people who already played the game, but I do think it has, like, the biggest potential to be successful in a mainstream sense. Like, I could see my parents watching The Last of Us and, like, talking about it. If they pull the story off well. And I low-key kind of think Pedro Pascal is actually, like, a pretty good choice for Joel. I think that's kind of cool.
That's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Land grab.
What if you woke up and you looked exactly like Tom Holland physically to everybody else, but you still see your... I would milk that for all it's worth, dude. I would go on the street. I would ruin his reputation, I think. Not even like anything bad. Like I wouldn't do anything crazy, but I would just do like very confusing things as Tom Holland. Like I would like sunbathe in the middle of the highway, like off to the side, and then like just a bunch of people would be like, "Is that fucking Tom Holland?"
3 zones incoming.
In upstate New York, sunbathing by himself.
Nothing satisfies like a 3-round burn.
Oh, I got that headshot. Heck yeah. That made me feel good.
Would a BioShock movie work? No, I don't think so.
It would work if there was like 2 lines of dialogue and most of it was just horror.
I feel like the only way you could make a good BioShock movie would be to, like... I mean, Rapture is a cool setting, and there are cool stories to take place in Rapture. Like, I could see, like, a really cool, like... Not Goodfellas-style movie, exactly, but, like, a gangster-style movie that takes place in Rapture before it falls. Like, I could see that being, like, interesting. But, like, BioShock works specifically because it's a video game. Like, that's almost the point of BioShock. Is that, like, it's fucking with your expectations as a player. I feel like Metal Gear is very much the same thing, where it's like Metal Gear has a cool story and like really cool characters, and I'm sure you could probably have some sort of film or like live action adaptation that would work fine. But at the same time, so much of what people remember about Metal Gear Solid is like Psycho Mantis moving the controller on the ground, or like, you know, Metal Gear Solid 2 pretty much gaslighting you the entire time, or Metal Gear Solid 3, where you could, like, wait a week in-game and the boss would be dead and you wouldn't have to fight him. You know, like, that's the cool shit about Metal Gear Solid as an IP. It's not necessarily about...
Good news, it wasn't 3.
Like, the story stuff is awesome, but it's not, in my opinion, what makes Metal Gear super memorable as a game or as an IP. Like, most of it is in those twists and the way that it fucks with you specifically as an interactive element.
Yeah, it's definitely the interactivity. I would agree.
Yeah.
I think it could. I think you know what? I think it works better as film inspiration. I think specifically Metal Gear has some really interesting choices cinematically.
Yeah.
Like some interesting shots and how they film things. But as an actual movie, I don't know. It would have to be something completely different. They'd have to take it like in name only and come up with a whole new cast of characters that are dealing with some sort of Metal Gear threat. I think that's the best way to take care of it.
Yeah, almost like a concept.
Yeah.
Like that's how I feel about Death Note as well. Like when I saw the live action Death Note, I remember being like, wow, this didn't have to be this bad, because all you really need for like a Death Note live action movie or show is just the premise of the Death Note, and then you could make your own story around that.
Yeah.
You know, like no one wants to see like a live action version of Light. You know, like no one gives a shit. Like I almost thought it would have been cool if they just like genuinely just dropped like, hey, what if a nerd in Seattle came across the Death Note, you know?
Some hipster?
Yeah, some fucking hipster. Like, it works better as a concept than an adaptation. Like, that's where they fucked the Death Note adaptation up. Whereas they were like, it's in Seattle, and it's like, oh, cool. So they're just, like, running with the concept. It's like, and this is Light, and he's an American. And you're like, what? Why is this American boy named Light? The fuck?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
This is so arbitrary.
I think, you know, talking about this makes me think that where they're going wrong isn't necessarily the adaptation so much as they're focusing too much on the characters and not the concepts or the ideas that make the show.
Yeah.
You know, they made a movie about Master Chief when it should have been literally about any other Spartan.
Yeah.
Incoming. Nearing victory.
Yeah, I very much agree.
Double kill.
Well, in their defense, Light makes less sense in Japan, yeah? Well, what I mean is, like, it's such an unbelievable... Like, it's such an ungrounding name.
Victory.
And it also just ties you to the anime in a way that, like... I don't know if you want that, man. Like if you're adapting something like that... Dragon Ball is all about the characters, you know what I mean? Like, Dragon Ball is... The concept of the Dragon Balls is not that interesting. It's been done before. Like, oh, things to collect and they grant a wish. Like, that's not super unique.
No.
What makes Dragon Ball interesting is like the world and the characters. So like you can't really adapt that without the characters. But Death Note is like one of those things where it's like it's almost more interesting as a concept than it is as like a individual story about Light. Like, it's a cool story about Light, but you know, the concept of the Death Note in and of itself is very, very interesting because so many things can branch out of that. Like, what if that ends up in, like, a pseudo Mark Zuckerberg's hands? What if that ends up in, like, a talk show host's hands? Like, what if that ends up in, like, there's so many different. It's like a writing. It's like a writing prompt, you know.
That could be a more interesting anthology series.
Yeah.
It's just each episode is a new kind of person who gets the Death Note.
Totally. That would have been an awesome idea. I think people would have been stoked for that.
I would also like to see an episode where Jimmy Fallon gets the Death Note.
Conan O'Brien gets the Death Note. Yeah, I don't know. I just think that would be cool. And Halo as a concept is not like, it's not really about Chief.
Grab.
You know.
No.
They missed the entire point.
You don't call it Master Chief Combat Evolved.
Yeah. I remember thinking that when they named the collection the Master Chief Collection. I remember thinking, like, somebody really high up really misunderstands this IP. I remember thinking that's so intently because, like, up until that point, you had, like, by the time Bungie said goodbye to Halo, there were more Halo games. There were just as many Halo games with the Master Chief as there was without him. Like, it was just as, it was equivalently split. You had Halo 1, 2, and 3, and then you had Halo 3 ODST, Halo Reach, and Halo Wars.
Yeah.
So, like, half of the series literally had nothing to do with him. He's an important character for sure, but, like, I don't think he should be a main character.
I think his effect on the world is more interesting than his actual personal story.
Right. No, I agree.
3 zones incoming.
Because he's just like...
You are right, Rayman. I do think you're... Yeah, that was the reason I think they probably chose that name, because it was only the Master Chief games. But that is not what ended up happening. Because they fucked it up so bad. But they were like, oh, we're sorry, here's ODST. And then they were like, well, now Reach is just arbitrarily not there, you know? I just felt weird about it, because, like, previously you had, like, the Jack collection and, like, things like that. Where it's like, oh, yeah, cool. The Bioshock collection. It's like, yeah. I think the Halo collection would have been just cooler in general.
3 zones incoming.
Because I don't think anybody necessarily would have expected them to put, like, ODST and Reach in there. But I don't know, maybe they did some fucking... What do you call? Not QA. What's that fucking shit?
You know
what I'm talking about, right?
Quality assurance? No, it's, I know what you're talking about.
Oh my god, why am I not...
Testing. Speed testing? Audience testing?
Yeah, audience testing. There's a word for that, though, that I'm... Focus group. Focus testing.
That's it. Yeah.
I forgot both of those words. For some reason.
You're not doing it.
Yeah. No, Halo MCC is great. Especially now. It's wonderful, but it was bad for a long time, man. It was fucking
3
rough.
zones incoming.
Yeah, it was,
Like, embarrassingly.
ridiculous. Ugh. We were just all in the wrong spot.
6 and 6.
3 zones incoming.
Frick!
Damn it. I'm sure Halo Infinite will have that turnaround. I think the foundation is... Like, the foundation of the gameplay is, like, really solid. Because, guys, like, I stopped playing Halo 4 way sooner than this. You know? But they did fuck up. Because there's a lot of people who are just not going to come back. They really, like, shot the bed with the first impression.
But not by much.
3 zones incoming.
Whoop.
That fucking poor guy. Oh, Battlefield, don't even get me started. Battlefield was a fucking mess. And I remember being so sad about that too because I love Battlefield.
Power items incoming.
Like it's the one modern shooter that I like genuinely like really like, and I was so excited.
Power items available.
And then they just fucked it. They didn't even have a scoreboard until like recently. That is so insane.
Gotta get in there. Gotta get in there. Oh. Ow. Oh, did we get it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Battlefield was so bad it made Halo look like a masterpiece. It did. So crazy. Like, I don't understand how they let it get that bad.
2 zones.
How do you launch your first-person shooter without a scoreboard?
They have the wrong people in charge.
Yeah, I mean that's true. That's the case with a lot of these IP, to be quite frank.
That's it. They just have the wrong people in charge.
Damn. IMO Battlefield has been seriously declining since Battlefield 1, if not before. I really liked Battlefield 1 like a lot. Like I played Battlefield 1 a ton. And I still
I never did.
Oh, really?
I never played it. Yeah.
Dude, I loved Battlefield 1. Like, it just felt like it was like a really good mix of proper Battlefield and like the arcade style of like something like 1943. If you remember that.
Oh, I remember 1943.
It was like that
That's the one.
downloadable game. But I just remember the maps being fun. I remember like running through the maps and like bursting through doors and like how fun it felt and how good the weapons felt. I remember really liking how the medic played a lot, like reviving people with like syringes and like there was like purpose to you. And then Battlefield 5 came out, and then like I just remember being like, wow, this fucking sucks. Because they completely like neutered the medic class. Like there was no like everybody on your team could heal everybody in your squad.
Really?
Yeah, there was no purpose to being a medic.
Yeah, that's dumb.
It's very stupid.
I don't know if this applied to that game, but one thing I noticed with a lot of like quote unquote modern first person shooter renditions is that what they will do, and I swear this is their thought process, they'll be like, oh, it'll be cool if we had this, and then they'll make a game mechanic for it.
Yeah.
In which it should be the opposite. They should think about really cool game mechanics to include, and then just put in whatever stupid drone tech to make it look cool in the game.
Yeah,
I feel like they're just thinking backwards.
I don't know. I just remember being so confused that they devalued the medic. Like the medic's only positive attribute was that he could revive everybody else on every other squad, you know? Like that was the point. It was like everybody in your squad can heal each other, but you can heal everybody else. And it's just like I don't know, it just felt like such an arbitrary thing. It's like what's even the point? Like cuz I really liked the medic class.
I feel like they do medic classes so wrong so often, because I feel like a medic should be one of the most valuable players on the field.
Yeah.
And they do them wrong because they bring them down in value. Because they want them to be just as good as everybody else.
Yeah.
But then nobody plays them because they suck.
Yeah, I love the Battlefield 1 medic because he wasn't super strong, but he could definitely like contend. Like he had like a good precision weapon, and if you were really good with your aim, you could wreak some havoc as a medic. But not as much as like if you were just as good with another class. Like it was obviously like not as strong.
Did you ever play Team Fortress Classic?
Oh, a long time ago, yeah.
The medic in that was my favorite class because it had these. First of all, it had an automatic nail gun you could use.
Sounds
just a nail gun. It shot nails. But second, with your little healing pad, you could heal people, or you could poison the enemy.
Oh, that's cool.
And that was such a neat feature because it would be like damage over time, and I would get so many kills after I die with that, because they'd kill me, but they'd be poisoned, and then they'd drain the rest of their health. And it was just such a neat mechanic that you don't see creative mechanics like that anymore.
Yeah. A lot of the things are streamlined now. If Modern Warfare 2 gets a good reception, it'll be my first COD in like 5 years.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm kind of tempted, to be honest, because Modern Warfare 2 was probably like the most fun I had with COD. And if they do bring those multiplayer maps back, I think I might be interested in it. I just don't know if I like this fucking hero shooter light thing that a lot of CODs are doing with like these operators.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not really into that at all. Ever play Team Fortress 2? Yeah.
Heck yeah.
I liked how broken and unbalanced the first Modern Warfare was. Yeah. I really like that heartbeat sensor.
Heartbeat sensors are such an interesting idea.
Oh, and Infinity Ward doesn't use operators? I didn't know that. I haven't played for a long time. Like, I played a little bit of Vanguard, and I played, like, a little bit of Black Ops, but not, like, so deeply that I, like... I tried to like him, and I don't know. A lot of it is map design, man. It's just, like... Bad maps are bad maps. Granted, I feel like we haven't had, like, amazing multiplayer maps in a very, very long time.
Yeah. Honestly, ever since the invention of open world, I'd say good maps are hard to come by.
Even in the Halo games that I like I feel like Halo 2 just had like such an unbelievably good selection of multiplayer maps that it feels borderline unfair. Cuz like even Halo 3, like I like Halo 3 like a lot, but like those maps don't hold a candle to Halo 2's.
Halo 2 just had a different level of level design.
Incoming.
Yeah. Well, they had so many interactive environments too. Like they had like that map where you could like shoot the fucking stalactites and it would destroy vehicles. They had obviously the big fan. They had fucking doors and like big gates that you could open and close. That train in the middle of terminal that would like fucking destroy you.
Oh, somebody just saved me. Because my aim was garbage.
2 of 3 zones. Nice work.
Ah, damn it.
3 zones.
Love the big fan. You could say I'm a big fan of it. I would agree. It's also one of my favorite maps in Halo 3, but it's literally just a change. It's literally just Halo 2's map again with like slightly different walkways, which is not bad.
I love
like
that
remakes.
idea. I love that idea.
What?
That was the map stealing from previous iterations. I feel like there's a stigma that, you know, oh, we got to be original every single time. It's like, no, just use what works. If you've got great maps in a previous installment like Halo 2 had, just take all the maps.
I like
all of them.
I don't know, I like seeing new stuff, but it wouldn't hurt to like get some of the best maps from the past and put them in, you know? Like I could see that being a problem with this game because there's a lot of mechanics that exist here that weren't in previous games, so like you'd have to
True.
expand the size of some of those older ones. But I don't think there's any reason why you couldn't have a spiritual successor to the Big Fan, you know?
Yeah, the big fan, coagulation.
I mean,
I want to see a Sidewinder make a comeback,
yeah, that would be cool.
especially with these new mechanics.
I want to see Waterworks again, man. Like I want to see that cave again.
Waterworks is one of my favorite, especially for big team battles.
Yeah, big team in Halo 2 was so fun. It's because of those maps, man. They're just so good. Like unnecessarily.
Victory.
Oh,
We did it. Oh,
yeah,
that was close.
Go team. That was close.
Didn't they do Nuketown like 40 times?
Oh, absolutely.
I think so. I don't know. I haven't played. I haven't really. The last COD I really played, like really, was Modern Warfare 2. Like actually. I've like dipped in and out. Like I played a little bit of Black Ops 4 and like a little bit of World at War and like a little bit of Black Ops and like a little bit of Vanguard and a little bit of Cold War. But like I haven't really sat down and like I think I prestiged in Modern Warfare 2 at least once. I could be misremembering that though. What is it? I have to earn a cumulative player score of fucking 10,000? Is that what I have to do?
I haven't even looked at those. I guess I leveled up but didn't get anything. What the heck?
Hey man, don't worry.
Oh, okay.
Did you ever
If I shouldn't worry, I'm not gonna.
Did you ever get into the zombies? No.
I did.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But like one of the earlier ones. I think it was the first zombies I really got into.
World at War.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so much fun.
No, I never got into it because like I didn't like Call of Duty as a game, and then also like they're like, "Hey man, fucking come on, let's play some zombies." And then I kept thinking like, if I want to play a horde mode, I would rather be playing like Gears 2.
Land grab.
And if I'm going to play a zombie game, I'd rather be playing Left 4 Dead. So like
Yeah.
it was just like this mix of things that like I felt like they were better alternatives for elsewhere, and like I just wasn't really. I remember distinctly feeling like shooting zombies had like no impact, like they didn't react the way that I expected them to. And that was kind of always my problem with Call of Duty, where it feels like you're kind of like shooting a hologram of a person sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Like there isn't like a lot of feedback.
Free zone.
Or at least this was like just like my own autistic fucking brain, like finding problems. But
Oh. Alright. I guess I died.
yep.
Oh well.
Fuck.
You know, I don't know if I'm a big fan of this map or not.
Yeah, I can't tell. I'm in like I go back and forth on it. Like I don't think it plays particularly well for this, but I think it's a good Slayer map.
Yeah. Some of the angles are just really awkward.
I feel like that's by design. Everything feels super light, no impact. It might be. But like I just remember, I don't know, like when you meleeed zombies in like Left 4 Dead, they would like stagger, like, and they would like. It's almost like they fused like ragdoll and animation to kind of like have this really realistic response that they would have. And it was like really satisfying to do because of that. And playing Call of Duty just felt like a little weird. And in Halo 3, like you would like when you shot somebody, like you would see their shields refract, and then like they would like their character model would like move in response to them.
Yeah, I don't know what the motivation was behind lessening the impact of just damage in video games, because it didn't happen just in Call of Duty there for a while. It happened in a lot of places.
I mean, I feel like I see it in this game too, so
I think so, and
a little bit, at least a little bit. Maybe not as bad.
I don't know. I feel like a lot of them were like, but it's more realistic that way. And as an artist, having researched like actual gun impacts and melee impacts, it hurts, and there's a lot of damage that gets done. So like, there's a lot of feedback in real life. So I don't know where this motivation comes from when they say let's make it less.
Yeah.
Because having been kicked in the head a few times, it's there's a lot of feedback. Just gotta say, there's a lot of feedback. A lot of feedback in this this MMO. Ooh,
I gotta
shotgun.
say, man, the fucking credit where credit's due. Credit where credit's due. This grappling hook is fucking one of the best ones I think I've ever used in anything.
It's because it lets you swing.
It does. It lets you swing. Like you can
swing.
actively like fuck with the trajectory with the analog sticks if you bend them in certain directions.
Team nearing victory.
And it's so
That's
satisfying.
it. That's the secret to a good grappling hook, is being able to maneuver your way while you're grappling.
Yeah, they fucking nailed it. Like I really didn't think. I really did not expect them to make a better grappling hook than like Titanfall 2. Because like that was that was like previously the best one, and I guess it's technically the best one because you have access to it all the time. But like just the way this fucking thing works.
Man.
Oh fuck! I didn't have the grappling hook. I had the repulsor. The grappling hook in Apex Legends for the robot character is superior. They have identical functions, but the Halo grappling hook is more limited. I don't agree at all. You can like pick up weapons and like hijack vehicles with it, and like pull yourself along the ground and slide into this like ridiculous like Apex style slide. Like I think it's great. Like I think Apex Legends and Titanfall 2 have like definitely like top tier grappling hooks, but I don't think it's. I think it's got more. Yeah, it's got more utility than the. This one has more utility, I think.
Yeah, because you can grab weapons. Just because you can grab weapons and items.
The Halo grappling has limited range of motion and influence. I think that's up to the player, man. I think it's harder to use. Like, 'cause I've seen people just like stare and they'll like zip line. They'll use it and they'll like zip line to a point, and it's like they're being so uncreative with it.
I agree.
But the Apex grappling hook is also very satisfying. Like Pathfinder is like the only reason I even tried that game. Also like Pathfinder's design a lot.
Land grab.
Land grab.
Oh, I remember this. This is when we came to America.
In conclusion, it's a skill issue. No, there are people, man, like, you can do some fucking crazy shit with the fucking Halo grappling hook. It's fucking lunacy.
Let's nab those.
Yeah, did you, there's like a great video. I think it's by Defend the House. They used to make these like Halo Mythbuster videos. And they had like a bunch of Spartans like standing in a circle, and they had each of them grapple onto the person next to them, and they made like this ring of like moving Spartans, and it worked. Like the physics just did the work for it, and it totally like functioned exactly how you would expect it, which is nuts. Because I don't think you can really program that intentionally. That has to be just like the physics just works, and it lets you do that. It was nuts. I couldn't believe what I was seeing when I saw that shit. Because I thought for sure, like, nah, that can't possibly. Like, the grappling hook's are really good, but, like, there's no way they thought of...
In the bag. Way to go.
There's no way they thought of that.
3 zones incoming.
Ah, that was a bad shot. I did that really badly.
Man, I'm glad I'm not streaming right now. My aim is trash.
Yeah, my aim's pretty fucked right now, too. That's why I rely on good movement.
Yeah, me too. Oh, no, they're here. Get them.
Oh, he had a
Almost
fucking...
had it.
Damn it. That was
We got
so
you
close.
guys, man. Oh,
He doesn't know what he's doing.
Damn.
He doesn't know what he's
Fucking
doing.
rocket
Oh, he
ship.
did it.
Active
Oh,
camera
yes.
inbound.
There we go.
2 zones. I call that a win. Active camo available.
3 zones incoming.
You're a good shot.
Oh, wow. I can't believe that fucking worked.
Double kill.
Add that silverware to the pile.
Am I really just gonna take this?
You might. We're taking all of the zones right now.
Where are these guys? At lunch?
Yep.
Alright. Oh, it's all the way over there.
Trying to decide on the next game, Horizon Forbidden West or Red Dead 2? It depends. I think if you are... Red Dead 2 is very slow. It's very frustrating. The level design is a little bit linear. Like, mission design, I mean, is pretty, you know, pretty elderly.
It's a narrative.
It's a narrative game primarily. Like, I would say that Horizon's more fun. Like, if you're looking for like a good...
I would say Red Dead's more of an experience,
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
where Horizon's more of a game.
Yeah, I think it's like Red Dead 2 is definitely one of the best, in my opinion, like best stories I've ever. It is probably like my favorite fucking story in any video game.
Bad news.
It's got one of my favorite open worlds, but it's definitely like one of those things where it's like you have to have the patience to play it, like because it really commits to the fact that it's like a cowboy simulator, and that means like
A good
loot.
way to put it is a cowboy simulator.
It is like, but it commits to it. Like your fast travel is really difficult. You know, like you're gonna have to move throughout that world on your own, and you know you're gonna have to fucking get your hair cut and bathe and
Camo inbound.
feed your horse. Yeah, it's a cowboy simulator in every bad and great way.
Camo
You know.
available.
But I love Red Dead Redemption 2. It is, without a doubt, a must-experience game. But, like, I can see people playing it and being like, I don't know if I'm... I don't know. To me, it's like Death Stranding, where, like, I love that game, but I could see people playing it and being, like, confused. Whereas Horizon's a lot more straightforward, where it's like, this is a fun game, and it does what it needs to do, and the moment-to-moment gameplay is there, and it's kinetic, and it's satisfying, and there's depth to it. But there's no sim
very-
aspect to it.
No, it's very much a modern game.
Yeah, it's a solid modern game. I'm happy to see people like coming around on it because I remember like people were like, I remember getting shit for it for saying that it was great.
Off the
Zero Dawn?
No,
Couldn't have done it without
Red Dead.
you. That's
Really?
literally
Yeah.
true.
Because everybody just is. It's so fucking slow, man.
Get off your Call of Duty and like.
And it
have
is.
a
It is slow.
patient.
But like, I
Not a
don't know.
Bad thing.
Yeah, I don't think that's a bad thing either. I think I used to think that was a bad thing though. Like I remember being that age where I was like, what the fuck is this? Like I remember being like really young and playing like fucking I remember being really young and playing something like Shadow of the Colossus and being like, the fuck is this? I remember being like, where's the game here? Because I was just really young and impatient.
Yes.
And then I played it way later and I was like, oh,
Oh, I get it now.
this is fucking incredible.
Shadow of the Colossus is one of those games that I genuinely love
Active
in
camo
almost every
inbound.
aspect.
I call
Shadow of the
that
Colossus is
clean
high art.
sweep.
That's
Jakey's
like double S.
Jakey's take on it is great. I love a lot of enemy elements from Red Dead Redemption 2. It's just not enough game for the goopy goblin brain gamer. Yeah, I agreed with his pretty much all of his criticisms, but I still love that game. Because he's right, man. There are parts in Red Dead Redemption 2 where it's like the game's an open world game, but like they only let you complete missions in a very specific way. There's like one specific mission where like your goal is to get into the window on the top of this building. And like you can easily climb to the window and like get in. But like it doesn't let you do that, which is like the worst. It's like one of the worst things about it. But even that's like, you know, it's not that. The rest of it is so good.
Yeah. That seems kind of very Last of Us to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they have very like pointed ways that you go through the game, and they have options, but they're all very clear. This has been made options, and there's very little room for you to get creative and complete challenges and things on your own, like with your own creativity.
Oh, man. Rockstar has great writers and mediocre mission designers. Yeah. Yeah, the mission design is probably the worst aspect of it.
I feel like in game development in general, there's this weird balance between narrative writing and like game writing
Land grab.
that no one really gets very well. Like you're either good at one or you're good at the other.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's weird.
It is very bizarre.
I gotta say, I also like the new directions that they're doing armor in Infinite.
Free zones incoming.
Like these,
Oh, yeah.
like the differences between the armors now seem very, I don't know, it seems more practical in a way.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Like, it looks way cooler to me.
Yeah, it also feels more part of the world. Like it feels more, I don't know, canonical? I don't know how to, there's a word for it. Like there's a higher world building integrity there than there was before.
Yeah.
Because like the samurai armor is clearly like, oh, this is definitely not. I don't think there's many canonical Spartans in the lore that are running around in that samurai armor, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
But the armor that they're doing now, at least the non-steampunk ones.
Yeah, I like the World War II like style shit. Like, I think it's cool. I think like I like pouches.
I call that a clean.
You know, and shit like
Pouches will. I don't understand sci-fi design without pouches because pouches were invented and they never went away. Just because they're so useful. They're just too useful to get rid of. I don't know how I'm doing this. Like getting rid of pockets.
that. It is weird, yeah.
Cloth, you can literally put anything in it.
Camo inbound.
Just one day we found out we don't have to carry things with just our hands.
Oh, damn it. I saved myself and then immediately died.
Was that you with the... Dang it. They hounded me. Was that you with the beam? The
Yeah.
sentinel beam? It just fell down?
Yeah, but then I zoomed back up and then I got beamed to death.
I picked up your your grappling hook and then immediately got backstabbed.
Yeah, that's how it goes. That's how it works.
Classic.
Free zones incoming.
Hey, kid. Stay hydrated.
My favorite thing about the grappling hook is that you can use it to nullify the effects of grav lifts.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's such a cool fucking, like, I don't think they intended for that necessarily, but like it works.
Power weapons incoming.
Fucking moron.
Power weapons up for grabs.
That guy wasted a whole clip of a BR on me.
Oh, fuck. Damn it. The Sentinel Beam does shred vehicles. Which does make a lot of sense. How are you fucking... What?
Bad news, they got 2. Good news, it wasn't 3.
3 zones incoming.
Just me, or is this game feeling slower than the rest of them?
No, I agree.
Active camo inbound.
Something's...
I don't know what it is. Whatever.
Active camo
Let's get riggedy riggedy right.
Ah, damn it. I choked. There we go.
Oh, that made me feel so good. Freaking pushing people off a ledge. There's just something about it that makes you feel good.
Yeah, the repulsor and the grappling hook are just so fun. Like, when you have good physics, it just makes everything so much better.
2 zones.
Because then a bunch of shit...
Also-
Because then a bunch of shit can happen that you just can't predict.
Yeah. When you have good physics and when you respect them, when you don't overwrite them with animations or anything, it's just great.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
It's a great
It is
time.
good time. You have great time. Lots of fun on the campground. Yes.
That's the kind of shit I'm talking about. The grapple into a slide. You see that Mint Blitz Killionaire clip? No. We're about to win though. Oh no, we need one more, don't we?
I'd call that a win.
Yeah, we need one more. It goes to 11.
Yeah.
Incoming.
Weird, isn't it?
Power items incoming.
I think it prevents ties.
Power items up for grabs.
Alright, well, I'm gonna catch this, so they can't stop me.
How are you fucking... I feel like I got him. Yeah, weather changes on maps would be really cool, actually.
I would like to see fog roll in on a map
Yeah,
and limit long range,
That would-
especially a map like this.
that would be fucking cool. That would be sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I missed him by like a pixel. That would have been such a good shot, too. Oh, well. Oh, did I do it? Did I do the thing? Oh, not yet.
Do what thing?
The challenge.
Oh.
I'm close, though.
I'm not even keeping track of my challenges.
Yeah, that's fair.
Though I will say, I was doing it last week, the weekly whatever, because I really wanted that pose, but I just ran out of time.
Yeah, that's what happens. Yeah, it would be cool to have just like different weather effects. Like every time you load into a map, it's like, oh, this is fragmentation in the snow, or this is like fragmentation at night, or this is all these different things with different weather effects and times of day. What's up, Jeff Holiday? Thanks for the raid, man. I really wish Tarkov devs finished the game before it burnt out. Before I burnt out on it. I've heard really good things about Tarkov, but I don't know anything about it.
It's such a wild game, Chris. It's
Is that the
It's
VR
like-
one?
no Tarkov. Well, I might be able to be. You might be able to do VR with it, but it's not like exclusively VR.
Right.
It's how do I explain it? I haven't really played a lot of it myself. I had a buddy that I watched play, and it's like super survival. But you're in you're in Russia, and it's like Fallout, but it's super survival. Every bullet counts. You kill people for their stuff. That's the best explanation I got. You can tell I do a lot of writing. Russian rat simulator. Yeah, no, that's that's pretty accurate.
Sounds like my type of deal.
Was that Bob Tom? Oh, that poor guy. I just saw him blow up. I'm gonna mess their stuff up.
Sorry, bro. We're all rating after watching watching soap operas. What soap operas could you possibly have been watching?
Could have been worse.
There's two of
But
them.
not by much.
They found me.
3 zones incoming.
Damn it. Passions? Of course that would be the name of a fucking soap opera. Alright.
You know, I don't think I'm ever gonna get over how well they made the art in this game. Like, just the way it looks.
Yeah, it looks exactly right.
Like, even the new helmets that they came out with, that spiritual successor to the Mjolnir armor,
Yeah.
it's just so perfect. I didn't think they could do something that would, you know, be a legitimate successor.
Yeah, dude, it looks
legacy.
exactly like it should. It looks like exactly like what I wanted. What's your opinion on the Not Halo series? I didn't like most of it. And I'm making a video about why. But I also don't think, like, I don't know, like, people are weird. Like, I do feel like people just, like, want to shit on things because they're, like, popular. Like, I agree with a lot of it, but then sometimes it was just, like, it's not really that. There's certain things that I'm like, it's not that big of a. That's, like, sometimes people are just, like, they get angry at the least problematic parts of something. Where I'm like, that's what you're upset about? You're not upset about this clearly worse thing?
Like being upset at the Nazis for their uniform design.
Yeah, it's like being like, man, these Nazis, man. Something about the skulls on their uniforms just doesn't sit right. And I'm like, yeah, it's probably because they kill Jews. It's like that famous, like, there's that Norm Macdonald bit that's like one of my favorites, where like where he talks about oh my god, what the fuck was it? I don't want to butcher it. But he's talking about how Bill Cosby. It's like Bill Cosby was a rapist, and he's like,
3 zones.
you know, people say like the worst part of it was the hypocrisy, and I say no. I feel like it was the raping. That I think is the worst part of it. And then they say something like, it is my opinion that most rapists are hypocrites.
I feel like that's kind of a given.
Yeah, no, I know, I love it.
Bad news, they got 2. Good news, it wasn't 3.
3 zones.
Alright.
No, I am not Canadian.
I would say that you give off Canadian vibes, though.
Is it really?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I think it's I don't know. I don't know what it is. I can't explain it. But if somebody told me you were Canadian and I didn't know you were from New York, I'd be like, yeah, I believe it.
That's fair.
If someone told me that our friend Joe was Canadian and I didn't know, I'd be like, you're wrong. You're absolutely wrong.
Right. I guess New York is pretty close to Canada, so.
Well, you know what I think it might be? I think it might be you're North American, but you have like a level-headedness about you. And you're not offended like at everything. Oh, he had a sword.
I guess. I don't know if that's unique to North. That's not Canadian though, is it?
Let's be real. There's 3 options when it comes to being North American. and one of them you have to speak Spanish for.
Yeah. That's true.
So
6 out of 10, I enjoyed it, but there were some weird decisions, like I remember in the book. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it, where it's like it's not as bad as it could have been. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen. I think like my parents watched it and they thought it was fine and they enjoyed it. So like they're doing something right, I suppose. But there are certain things that they did in the Halo show where I'm just like, it just seems unnecessary. And I think like I understand wanting to change things in the sense that like you don't want to be like so bogged down by the existing lore that you can't write a show. Like none of my my favorite incarnation of Spider-Man, for example, like, is not comic book accurate. He has webs coming out of his fucking hands, like, for real. And that's not comic accurate. But I think there are certain things that you can change to take a creative liberty, and then there are certain things that you change that affects the trajectory and overall quality of a character. Peter Parker shooting webs out of his wrists versus shooting webs out of a web shooter doesn't alter the character of Peter Parker. Like, the character of Peter Parker is still very, very intact, even with that added strange element. Master Chief having sex with a prisoner of war.
that's a character choice.
That's a character choice that's very confusing and very much not. It's very much not in keeping with what the character is, you know? But it's cool. Like, I don't know. I'm conflicted because it's nice to be able to talk to my parents about something that I've cared about for a long time that they're interested in. And I think that's cool. At the same time, I just look at some of the changes where I'm like, this would have been just as cool if you just didn't change this weird thing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why Reth is a man in the show and not a jackal like he is in the lore. Like, I get that would have been expensive, but it's already a dark room anyway. Like, you could have just had him hidden in the darkness. Like, it would have been cool. Like, why did they know that the Halo is potentially a weapon before they've even seen it? Like, it's little things like that where I'm like, wouldn't you want to find that out? Like, isn't the whole point like the original Halo, you find that out when you're on the ring. You don't even know what it is. You're like, what the fuck, a ring planet? The fuck is this? And then you find out halfway through what it is. And it's like, I don't know if, like, what mystery is there left for the Halo
Claim the zone.
if they already know what it could be before they've even seen it? It's little things like that where I'm like, I don't know if you had to do that, really. And I feel like it takes away a big part of what's cool about Halo in the first place. But, I don't know. I thought the fight scenes were cool. And I like Kai a lot as a character, but...
Is that that girl you were telling me about?
Kai is the, she's like the female Spartan that also kind of takes the emotion suppressing pellet out of her. But she acts like realistically, and it's like she's fun to watch, and she's like...
3 zones.
There's this scene where she's like she gets really excited over a needler, and she's just like geeking out about it. And I really like that.
I'd get excited over a needler.
Yeah. I like her. I like her a lot. Like, she's one of the few things in the show where I'm like, I kind of wish she was like in core canon because she's that fun to watch.
I'd give it to them. If something makes enough money, they'll make it work.
That's true. Ooh, beautiful. Ah, damn, I switched my weapon at the worst possible time.
3 zones incoming.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about, Vicious Pastry. Like, I really don't understand. Like, the whole, like, they showed Master Chief's face. That's unbelievable. It's like it's a show. Like, that's not a problem. Like, we've already kind of seen Chief's face like a million times at this point. Like, we've seen, like, he was in the Starry Night trailer as a young boy. We've seen him in, like, the beginning of Halo 4. We've seen him in, like, comic books and shit. Like, we understand, like, he looks like a white guy. Like, there's not that much mystery. In a game, yeah, you don't want to show his face because there's genuine mystery there, and you can, like, superimpose yourself into him, and also, because it's a video game, there is no real-world asset that exists that spoils it anyway. You know, like, you could argue that, like, oh, you could look up the voice actor, and, you know, then you'll know what Master Chief looks like, but it's like nobody's voice actor looks like the character they play. That's so rare that happens. But with an actor, it's like, if you're watching the show and you're like, let's say the first episode of the show ends, right? And he takes his helmet off and you don't see it. And then you don't see it for the rest of the show. The implication there, from a cinematic standpoint, is that this is somebody who's important, that you wouldn't believe is under the helmet. That is the implication that would be sold if they really, like, in a show format, decided to hide the Master Chief's face. It would be like, I can't believe I can't believe that's who that is. But, like, if it's in a show, there's an actor underneath the helmet. So all you have to do is like, oh, why are they hiding this guy from me? Who is this? And then you look it up. You look up the cast on your fucking phone that you always have next to you. And then it's like, oh, it's Pablo Schreiber. Okay, so that's what he looks like. Neat. Like, there's no mystery there at all. It's just a guy. Like, I think that's such a weird complaint. Especially when there's so many other things that like, I do agree that he takes his helmet off way too much.
Yeah.
I think he should mostly be in the helmet.
I think they should have played it similar to The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Where 9 times out of 10 he's in his helmet.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it too, where it was just like, just keep him in the helmet when it makes sense, and when it doesn't, like, fair enough. Like, there's so many times in the show. There's so many times in the show when he's just, like, piloting a ship in dangerous airspace, or, like, in the middle of, like, a red hot battlefield, and he takes the fucking helmet off. I'm like, bro, that is just bad writing also.
Yeah, that's bad writing when it happens anywhere else too. Like in war films or any sci-fi ever, when the heroes take off their helmets in the middle of a war zone. That's just bad. You don't do that.
Yeah. Like, it's just very, I don't know, it's just very silly. And there are just certain choices like that where it's just like, I don't know why you did this. And what frustrates me so much about the show is that, like, there's so many parts of it that I like genuinely, but it's like surrounded by all these things that I don't. I'll get into that in the video that I'm working on, but, like, it's just, I don't know. It's just weird.
I have problems with how the armor fits. It just looks awkward to me. I don't know why.
I agree with you. The armor does look weird on them, but at the same time, I don't really know how you would fix that without just, like, covering everything in CG. So I just kind of, like, I'm kind of at a point where I'm like, you know what? I appreciate the fact that you did this practically, at least. And there's, like, a decent amount of, like, practical effects in the show. Like, I was surprised to see that the profits are basically practical. Like, there's, like, a mix with, like, they did the smart thing, which is they mixed CG and practical. Which is fucking cool. You know, like, I like that shit. The armor is not CG. Well, it's CG in battle, but, like, it exists. Like, those are real suits of armor that they're wearing. This is a nice bit of effort. You want to do big team? Because I kind of want to.
Yeah, let's do it.
Try some different maps.
I'm not picky today.
I'm excited for season 2 because, like, where the heck is yeah, I don't know. Like, I'll watch season 2, I guess. I'm not really looking forward to it or excited about it, and I don't really care that much about it, but I'm curious enough. Like I really am just curious what the how the fuck they plan on making the Halo interesting now that all the mystery has been sucked away from it. Like I really don't understand how you do that. They already know it's a weapon. They already know the purpose of it. They already know like, oh, the Covenant worships this religion and like they believe that the rings are going to fucking propel them to the great beyond. I don't even think you knew that until Halo 2. Like I don't know if they said that in Halo 1. I don't think so. Because the aliens didn't speak English, so there would be no way.
If I remember right, I think you got some sort of, like Keys said something about it being something religious, but you didn't get any real information on it.
Yeah, you just knew it was like religiously significant.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess the flood is there, and you could do some cool practical effects stuff with the flood at least. But I don't know, man. That's the only mystery left on the ring now. Like there's nothing else left. And I don't even know how the fuck they're gonna, like I don't even know what the fuck they're gonna do if they're following like are they gonna do Combat Evolved? Like would that even make sense now given how fucking weird everything is?
I don't think so.
If they really do follow the games, how's Cortana gonna get left on High Charity if she's literally in his head?
Bring your base to full charge.
Chris, is Halo 5 a really bad Halo game story-wise? Yes.
It's so bad they didn't finish it.
Yeah, it's so bad that they restarted everything.
Which is the same because they had some interesting ideas, but it was so bad.
Yeah, they just wasted a lot of potential with Halo 5. Master Chief going rogue is like a really cool idea, but then they just didn't do anything with it. And by the way, the fact that he goes rogue in the first season of the show, the first episode of the show, is insane because that has no weight because we don't know who this character is. We had 5 whole video games before Chief went rogue, and he goes rogue in the first episode of the show. It's a lunacy.
Almost feels like they're trying to catch the show up to where the games are now.
Yeah, it feels like they're like speed running a lot of it. The director did say it's not canon, and I get that, but like I don't know. To me, it's like, wouldn't you want to like, if you're gonna have like a what if story, shouldn't we have the thing that it's a what if from first?
Yeah.
Like I just feel like if we had really been interested in Spider-Man for like a really long time, and he's been like this massive character in the staple of comic book history, you know? And our first live action movie, it was like an alternate take on Peter Parker where he was like a rich child and he hates Uncle Ben actually. You know, like it would like it would just be like a weird thing to do for your first attempt. Like, ideally, like, the first round should be as close to the source material as possible. You can have changes. Again, like, yeah, maybe if you want him to seem more superhuman, you can have him shoot webs out of his wrists. Like, fucking whatever. Like, that's not a big deal. But, I don't know. Like, it just feels like I would rather have... I would rather have a as faithful an adaptation as possible first.
You need a baseline.
Yeah. That's kind of how I feel about it. It's not necessarily, but whew, I almost died. That's just kind of how I feel about it. Like, it would be cool. It would be neat to explore a reality where, like, Peter Parker's, like, actually, like, a really fortunate kid who like doesn't even give a shit. You know, like that would be like a really interesting alternate reality. In fact, I think that's literally in the Spider-Man animated series at the end when they're doing the Spider Wars stuff. I think there literally is a rich Peter Parker who just doesn't give a shit. Like
he's got the coolest suit too, because it's just a whole bunch of steel armor.
Yeah, yeah, like it's yeah, he's like billionaire Peter Parker who like is just super smart. He never lost Uncle Ben. He never understood like the meaning of great power comes great responsibility. And it's interesting because he's like a new character that's being brought in to share the screen with our comic accurate character. And by the way, like there's plenty of things about the animated series that aren't like necessarily 100% comic accurate either.
Oh, there's a lot of stuff.
There's a ton, but like the core of that character is basically what he is in the comics and basically what he is in most media. So like for me, I'm just thinking like, yeah, it would be cool to have this version of Chief. It would be cool to have a Halo show where they explored like, oh, what if Halsey didn't tell the Spartans that they were kidnapped from birth? Like, what would it be like if Chief and Silver Team, or Chief and like what is ostensibly just Blue Team, what if they didn't like Halsey at all? Like, what if they were angry that this secret was kept from them? That's interesting, and it's cool, and I would like to see that. But that's something for like later, dude.
Your team has reached half power. Racking up the accolades.
That's just kind of how I feel about it. Like, I don't know if this makes sense. I don't know if you guys agree. Maybe you don't. That's fine. But
I think what you're saying has some good traction to it. It gives, and like practical traction, not just like, I don't think it's wishy-washy what you're doing. Like it's not what you want specifically. It's more, but you do raise a lot of practical points that would make it easier for everybody else to kind of adjust themselves to the world, to what's going on, and to really appreciate it.
Yeah, you could do a bunch of weird shit with the Halo show. Like, I don't want Combat Evolved again, necessarily. Like, I already have that. Like, do fucking weird shit. Like, I think what they did with Keyes and Miranda and Halsey and their family dynamic being, like, front and center in the show, I think that's a smart idea, because that's something that the games didn't touch on. It's like, accurate to the source material, but it just wasn't shown. So it would be interesting to see, like, oh, what does Halo 1 and Halo 2 look like? Like, what does that... Oh, I got kicked. Did you see that?
I got kicked, too.
Like, what does Halo Combat Evolved in Halo 2, like, what does that look like when the family drama between these characters is actually front and center, and it gives the show, like, an emotional core? Like, what does Miranda think about the fact that Master Chief had to punch through his fucking skull? Like, what does Miranda actually feel about the fact that Chief punched her dad's head to shit, to smithereens, to get, like, a piece of technology? I'm sure she understands why. I'm sure she's not an idiot. But, like, I bet she would feel kind of weird about it, at the very least. You know? And that's interesting.
Also, he's the only person that came back alive from Key's mission.
Yeah.
Her dad and the whole crew of the Pillar of Autumn went, and Master Chief was the only one that survived and came back. And like, how does Master Chief navigate that with Miranda?
Yeah. There's so many interesting things that you could do that are not in the games at all, that would make a ton of sense, that would be perfect for a television show, that don't completely upend what's interesting about Halo as a whole, which is like the mystery and just the overall theme of like humanity and just the theme of like religion. There's so many ways that you could do that without completely upending certain characters or doing like what if storylines, you know? But even even that being said, like, I don't even think I really wanted a Master Chief show in the first place. Like, I would have preferred like enjoying shows like exactly what you said, like an ODST Band of Brothers style thing, or like, wow, wouldn't it be cool to see Noble Team before Reach and like their ops, and like maybe see how the character that like, I mean, in the beginning of Halo Reach, you're filling in for a Spartan who was killed in action.
Yeah.
How fucking cool would it be to meet that character, or like what is, like, who is that character?
it would. I think it'd be pretty amazing to not only discover that character, but learn to fall in love with them and really like attach themselves to you. Because once you finish that series and then go play Reach again, it has a new meaning.
Right, exactly. And you get to spend more time with Noble Team, which is like all anybody wanted when that game ended. Because like that was like the main criticism of that game was that like you didn't feel like you had enough time with these characters to really feel the impact. So like, wow, wouldn't it be cool if you could use a different medium to strengthen a game? Like, how cool would that be? And those are characters that you could like easily recast. Like, nobody's that married to like, nobody expects you to get those fucking the exact voice actors again, but like you could, you could explore that a little bit. Because there's clearly a history with Kat and Carter. Yeah. Like there's so much. George is like
George alone, yeah.
George alone is fucking fascinating. I don't know, man. Like, if I was pitching a Halo show, I would have had so many ideas. And the fact that they just went with, like, let's do the Fall of Reach, but, like, way weird. I don't know. Let's have a Master Chief sex scene. What?
Can't believe that.
It's just so weird. He's not Kratos. Like, it's... I actually kind of, like, had it in my head that, like, Master Chief was like asexual entirely, and I thought that was kind of interesting. Like, because he has a love for Katana, but I don't think it's like romantic, or at least I never read it that way. I don't know if he is or isn't asexual. I just know that, like, generally speaking, he's just not shown to be. He's just not shown to have that aspect. And it would make a ton of sense. And also, he just doesn't need that avenue of storytelling to make him feel like a character.
If I'm going to be completely honest, having seen a lot of television, I feel like people have no idea what to do with sex scenes, but they all feel like they have to have them.
Yeah, sex scenes are usually pretty terrible. Like, I can't think of many. I mean, I suppose credit where credit is due. The sex scene in Halo, in the show, is important to the plot, I suppose. It does inform character decisions, and it's not just like random fucking gratuitous sex for no reason. But it's also handled really stupidly because it feels like a CW show, where it's just like, I don't know.
When you get CW show material when you're not watching the CW, it's such a jarring experience.
The show just doesn't know. The show just doesn't know who it's for. Like, it feels like there was a YouTuber that put it really well, where like he was talking about how like everybody in the show talks like they're in a trailer. I think it was Late Night Gaming who said it. And he was like, everybody in the show talks like like they're in a trailer, or like they're setting up trailer lines. And that aspect of it feels like very childish, because it feels like it's not really saying anything. It's just kind of trying to look cool. But then it has like sex scenes and like insane violence that makes it feel like it's for like adults. And it's just like, but then like some of the stuff that's for adults feels like it's handled with like kid gloves. So it's like, what is this? Chief and Linda had a bit of a thing. Oh, really? I didn't know that, actually. I don't remember reading that. It's been a long time, though, so you're probably right.
Being a Spartan and having a romance seems like such a weird thing. Like, there's just so many different things you have to deal with.
Yeah.
That it almost seems like it's not worth it, which makes it an interesting idea for them to explore, because it's like, physically, if you're a Spartan, you can't really do it with a lot of other people.
Yeah.
Like, that's a huge option, that thing that you have to worry about.
Nice. That was awesome. That was good accidental teamwork. Yeah, draw him out.
That me?
Yeah.
Oh,
I was like sniping.
I just saw him shooting, and I said, I appreciate that.
I love those moments of accidental teamwork.
It almost feels like we're teammates.
It's kind of frustrating how good this game actually
You're
is.
the real deal, Spartan.
You know, like, you know what I mean?
Wait, what? What do you mean? No.
Like,
why?
like,
Why is it frustrating?
because like, it's like the minute-to-minute gameplay just feels so good, but then you're like, oh yeah, Forge isn't here yet, and it just feels so weird.
Yeah, it's kind of. Now that you pointed out, it is kind of frustrating to realize that it's such a good game and it's still kind of incomplete.
Yeah, it's like this is still just in beta basically.
You know what? I felt the same thing when Metal Gear Solid 5 came out.
Yeah.
Because it's such a good game to play,
Nice shooting.
but it's so unfinished.
Get going.
Heck, it's honestly remarkable that it made contender for Game of the Year.
Yeah, I mean it is a great sandbox.
Yeah.
But
there's just nothing in the box but sand.
yeah, I do agree. It's a real shame.
But you're right. It is kind of frustrating to have such a good mechanical game that is there's no Forge, there's no multiplayer campaign. What are we doing? Oh, this is
Oh, it's stockpile. I didn't even realize.
I just made that realization. You are on top of the leaderboard with just kills.
That's such a bad sign. They did.
Yeah,
they
our
did.
team is not-
They did fix the chopper, which is nice. I'm very grateful. It actually chops the fuck out of vehicles again. I don't know why they took that out in the first place, though.
Called the chopper.
Yeah, it's literally the point.
Oh, that was unfortunate. Oh, I had the repulsor too. Dang it!
Confirmed. You're a surgeon with that weapon. The enemy has loaded a power seed.
It's just a really mechanically strong shooter. It's just like really lacking content and the modes by which more content would easily be added. Like if this game launched with Forge, I don't think, I think the story around it would be a lot different. Because you would have had like millions of people jumping in and then like millions of people making free content for it.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't know how that wasn't more of a priority.
It is insane.
Considering it perpetuates its own content.
Yeah, it's like the biggest reason why Halo was so successful at the end of the 2000s. I think it's way more than just Forge that it's missing. Well, I mean, it's missing, obviously, co-op campaign, and functioning custom games is a big deal as well. But Forge is, without a doubt, the most important thing that it's missing. In a game that is struggling because it's light on content, the obvious thing that they need is a method by which everybody who's playing the game to make content for it. That people would have gladly done, by the way. I was so excited. I was going to make Spider-Man capture the flag.
Oh.
On like floating platforms. It was gonna be fucking nuts, and I was so excited. And then they were like, Forge isn't coming. I was like, oh, I guess I'll wait a year to make that very cool game mode that's been in my head for fucking years.
You know, that honestly sounds like a really good Spider-Man game.
Yeah.
That could be a multiverse game.
Yeah.
Spider-Man multiverse game.
I want to make, what I want to make is like a fucking Shaolin Showdown again. Because I had this game, I had this game mode in Halo 3 that I made like a long time ago called Shaolin Showdown, and you had like there was like a custom power up that would make you like invincible, but like you couldn't jump, and that was like the 2-ton tunic. You had like the gravity hammer that was like the sword of the storm. You had the Spartan laser, which was like the eye of Dashi, and just like all of this, obviously like overshield and invisibility and stuff like that. And they were on platforms where like overall jump height was increased. So, and whenever you touch the floor, you die. So it was just like bouncing around these different platforms, like attacking each other. And I feel like with like the grappling hook and like the repulsor and all this shit, I feel like it'd be so fun. Especially if you could script things, which is what I've been hearing and what I've seen.
You could script? Really?
Yeah, Forge is going to be fucking nuts. Like, it's leaked a couple times, but you can, like, do insane scripting shit, like, with it. There's, like, an entire language that they're building for it. It looks exactly like those modules that you see whenever... I don't know what it's called exactly, but it's like a bunch of, like, tiny windows that have a certain thing, and then there's, like, lines connecting them.
That's visual coding.
Yeah, there's like a visual coding language in the Forge.
You know what's wild? I actually learned the language that Microsoft uses for most everything, the C#.
Yeah.
So that makes me really excited.
Yeah, it's cool.
To kind of have that scripting availability and the window nodes that I learned through doing freaking shaders in Blender.
It's capture the flag.
Yeah, it's really fucking cool. I'm really excited about it, but I think it's happening in August or something.
If they don't push it back again.
Yeah, well, it's opening, like, it's in open beta, apparently. But it's exciting. Like, oh, September is Forge? Yeah. It's gonna be cool, I think. Presuming it, like, works, you know? Which is, like, a big if, unfortunately. We really took it for granted. The fact that, like, things just used to work.
Yeah.
I'll be right back. I think my food is here.
I'll cover for you, don't worry.
Sure, sure.
Hut!
The enemy carrier has revealed themselves.
Oh man.
Enemy returns their flag.
They shot me. They shot me in Halo. How dare they? I got cover for Chris. I gotta get out on the battlefield. There's one last Spartan out there. I gotta go.
Enemy flag carrier spotted.
I gotta go. I gotta get this. Let's go. Needler attack. It's gotta be weird for you guys not to be able to see my screen while I play. Let's see if we can find Chris. Or we'll take their flag. Oh, that was a poor decision. I gotta go.
Enemy captured the flag.
Let's see if we can see your screen. We gotta find you. Where's Chris? There he is. Can I get to him before he gets back?
Enemy returns their flag.
I'm coming, guys. Don't worry. I don't know if you guys can hear me at all. It would make sense though, because we're having conversations. What? Oh, hey guys.
Hey.
It's me.
Hey, it's you.
Hey.
That's crazy. Did he just stick you?
Wow. Yeah. I came and found you because I wanted to interact with the audience.
What are you eating?
I don't know if they can hear me. Can they hear me?
Yeah, they can hear you.
Oh, okay, cool. Hey.
At least I think they can.
I assume so because we're having a conversation and I don't know
Yeah, it'd be
how
weird.
entertaining it'd be to have half of the conversation. Yeah, I was gonna do a whole little segment because I have your Twitch open on my screen so I can see the chat, but it is super delayed.
Yeah.
to remember that for next
What are
time.
you eating tonight? I'm eating chicken teriyaki stir fry and some white rice with beans.
That sounds really good.
It's pretty good.
The enemy has your flag.
Enemy flag carrier revealed.
Shoot him! Golly, I took everything else down from him. Man,
An ally returned our flag.
you ever feel like your whole team's just a bunch of knuckleheads? Bunch of friggin' morons.
Sometimes. Oh god, I'm getting it fucked up.
At this point, I think it's kind of the name of the game. They're ahead by 2. Oof.
What
The
the
enemy has
fuck?
your flag.
Enemy flag carrier revealed. Cool.
They are all over here.
They have our flag. Not good. We have eyes on the enemy flag carrier.
Alright,
damn it.
let me get a warthog. Not a warthog, a mongoose.
Damn it, I'm out of sniper ammo. It's not ideal at all.
Just throw rocks at him. Give him the old Johnson. Sticking stones.
Oh, damn it. Oh, wow.
Yeah, we did not do well.
That's pretty rough.
Not ideal.
Not particularly. Still can't believe there's no energy sword skins. Yeah.
I understand. I think they're probably prioritizing other things. They're probably prioritizing a lot of armor just to make it feel like we have that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I don't blame them for.
Hi, Chris. This is former President Grover Cleveland. I hate to be the one to tell you this, but it's time to stop playing video games.
Capture the flag. Capture enemy
Oh, we're already in
flags to
another
score.
match. It didn't even take me back to the loading screen.
Really?
I'm getting like the hourglass mouse. Yeah, there it is. It's gone.
Wait, did you just connect?
Seize their flag and defend our own.
The game just crashed.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it just quit. Am I still there
No.
in the game?
No, you're gone.
No.
Classic.
Whatever. I needed to go anyways.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm probably gonna stop soon.
Yeah. Word. Well, it was good streaming with you.
Yeah, thanks for popping by.
I like having an audience
Here we go.
to perform in front of.
Yeah, it's fun.
Maybe next time I'll bring some like material, do like a sketch show. Dress around. Oh, wait, I'm not on video. You are.
Great aim, Spartan.
Yeah, man. Thanks for popping by.
Word. All right. Take care. I'll see you later.
Later, man. Alrighty. Damn it. It's okay, Vicious Pastry. I'll get over it. Dude talking sounded like Joaquin Phoenix. I don't think Whiskey does not sound like Joaquin Phoenix at all.
Nabbed a commando.
I don't know how he would take that though. Like maybe he would see that as like a compliment.
Ground vehicle requisition.
Damn it.
Grapple shot acquired.
Come on.
Nice made there, Spartan. Flag's yours. Go, go, go. Get moving. They're coming to murder you. They know where we are.
Damn it.
Enemy returns their flag.
I suppose that could have been worse. We're probably going to end stream super soon, by the way, guys. I'm a little tired. I just kind of wanted to jump in for a little bit. Oh, come on. No, Ghost Raid.
Let's get to skewering. Our team took the enemy flag.
Oh, God. Alright.
Nabbed a commando.
Did we even...
Returns their flag.
Oh, my God. This is going to be a stalemate.
Ground vehicle en route.
Fuck. Watching play is more entertaining than actually playing Infinite at this point. I haven't touched it since Season 2 started. Yeah, that's fair.
The enemy has your flag.
Enemy flag carrier spotted.
Oh, that's a cool skin.
An ally returned our flag.
Damn it. Chris, did this Halo turn out how you expected? Not exactly. It turned out well, but like, it's incomplete. So, obviously it's disappointing. What? Ugh. God damn it, man. This is a rough go.
Grapple shot obtained.
Fuck. All right. We're just not doing well.
Repulsor acquired. Wheels en route.
The enemy has your flag.
We have eyes on the enemy flag carrier.
Oh god, they really got this fucking whole thing locked down. Too tired. I don't have the fight in me. We're gonna do a little raid. We're gonna have I don't know, who do we wanna set up? Who do we wanna raid? Who do we wanna raid? Raid Ted Cruz. Let's jump around. Let's jump around, see what people are doing.
Said multiple times, like, I'm not talking about this.
Alright, that guy seems to be doing something a little personal.
Shit that you're putting with it.
Okay, there we go. We'll raid Adam. Give our good friend Adam a little raid. That'll be good. All right, guys. I'll catch you sometime soon. Take care. Be well. All that shit. Bye.